Football fans! How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to the premiere night of NFL Talk. I get a night to myself to talk all about the National Football League. I see I got Curtis in chat, Mr. Troy. Good evening to everybody. Welcome to a premiere night. Blah. Sir, don't start. But good evening, Grim. Thank you for popping in. But yes, we have decided to dedicate an entire show to the NFL. I know not everyone is a sports fan. I apologize, but you sports. Yes, Mr. Green doesn't like this. Jack, hello, sir. Hello, Gary. Nice to see you. But my esteemed colleagues do not like sports. I understand that. I respect that. But we needed some type of sports on this show. And with football season back in the air, I figured it was a perfect time to bring an NFL show to the basement show. So now I have a monster presentation prepared. Everybody who knows me knows how much I put into sometimes my work. And this time I will say I went overboard. Because not only will you be covering all the NFL games, but we also will be doing fantasy football recap. Because here on the Basement Show, we have a fantasy football league. The first year, we had my friend Vinny win the championship. And I am right now the reigning, defending champion of our league. So we will be covering that. We were covering a couple marquee matchups for the week ahead. And then the last slide will be just NFL news. Should be all about the Bears. Well, that's what I want. I want people to join their show, and I want you to represent your team. That is the whole premise of the show. Everyone knows I breathe green, but as a whole, I love NFL. So, I mean, whoever is watching in chat, right now, I have a job for you. There is 10 people watching. Please put in chat who you represent when it comes to football. It can be multiple teams. It can be one team. Everybody who's watching right now, put in the chat who you represent. I don't care if it's the Cowboys, Patriots, Vikings. Let's represent every 32 teams. All we can do. Curtis says the Bears and Dolphins. Two great choices. Two powerhouses back in the 70s and 80s. New England Patriots, yes, you and Morgan. As the Patriots, absolutely. Come on, I know there's more people. If I have to start calling people out, I will. I mean, like, this show is dedicated to those NFL fans. You may not watch on a daily basis. I get it. We have lives. We do other stuff. But every Wednesday night, you will get some type of NFL talk. Now, some may call me crazy because of doing the presentation I did for the show, but at the end of the day, is what I like. I am passionate about the sport of football. Bears, Browns, Ravens, Vikings. So that's actually a weird quattro of teams. Not only say that because you got two division teams from two separate divisions, but again, represent who you want. So Jack, if you're here, I know Gary breeds green like I do. He's an Eagles fan. But, like, this show is supposed to be geared towards any football fan. I mean, if I was to try to do a college football show, I will tell you flat out, people would call me nuts. Because college football has 136 teams now. There's no way I could do a college football show without going nuts. So, NFL is downscaled. There was only 32 teams, so it makes it a little bit easier to do what I do. The damn Dirty Birds. Absolutely. Well, actually, if you want to throw the damn Dirty Birds comment out, that actually relates back to the late 90s Atlanta Falcons. They called them the Dirty Birds. They actually had the little dance. I mean, I'll pull up a clip one week, but the Atlanta Falcons were actually known as the Dirty Birds back in the 97, 98 type of years when they made the Super Bowl the one year. So, Eagles are the hated birds, I will say. So, says we got 3 on YouTube, 6 on Facebook, 1 on Twitter. Say hello. I mean, I know there's people all over the place. Represent your platform. So if you're on YouTube watching for the first time, say hello. If you're on Twitch, might be Mama D just looking and watching, which is perfectly fine. She knows she does the modding over on Twitch. She does a phenomenal job. But I just want to hear from everybody. I'm amped up. As you guys can't tell, I am amped up. One guess who? I knew it. Mama D. And she's probably sitting there like, he's nuts. Troy, I am a Commanders fan. Represent your team, sir. Every team I want represented on this show. So, don't be bashful. I mean, from time to time, I hope to have a guest host on the show that will come in and analyze games with me. Like I said, we're touching on a recap for fantasy football, previewing the week ahead. I mean, there's so much you can do with a show like this. So, you're not going to be amped up in the morning? Who knows? Maybe I won't sleep. We'll see. But I thank you all for joining me. Like I said, you can ask all the other hosts of the Basement Show. I've been working my ass off to get ready for this show. And in a crazy sense, I mean, we all do a lot of work on the Basement Show, but Grim can tell you, Miss Grim can tell you, Mama D can tell you, the Crimson can tell you, I put in 7 hours worth of work on the premiere. Monday night against the Birds, both teams. Laugh out loud. That is true. Got the Dirty Birds versus the Hated Birds this coming Monday. Gary is absolutely right. Has he read? I mean, you can ask. I mean, please, if you guys don't believe the amount of work that I've done, wait till you see what I got in store. I mean, Shannon said earlier in the chat, she's very proud of me. I mean, it is absolutely bonkers the amount of shit I did for this show. So if you're in chat, there's a lot to cover. Thank you, Mama D. So proud of you. And I don't want to be dragging this out to be a 3-hour show because it very well could be. And no, it won't always start at 9 p.m. I will be flat out honest with you. This show will depend on my work schedule. So tonight, I only started the premiere night because I didn't get home till about 8:30. I wanted to make sure I had something to eat, get my hypeness going because, like I said, there is a lot of context in this show. And if you don't believe me, I have it in studio ready to go. You will see firsthand the amount of shit I've done for this show. Every game is broken down. We have a fantasy football league that is broken down. It's crazy. So, Mama D saying LG word. I'm not going to say it. Yep, those 2 words are forbidden. Not saying it. Nope. But, so if you guys want, here we go. So let's see. There you go. I can just control it from my mouse. I love making slideshows. Anyone who has watched the show for as long as some people have, back for 2023 when the Eagles made the Super Bowl versus the Kansas City Chiefs, I made probably one of the most bizarre slideshows that people would ever see. I broke down every position, the head coaching stats. I even did one for the mascots. That show was electric. We had a 3+ hour show for that. And that was the dawn of these slideshows because it allows you, the viewer, to see what I'm reading. So I'm not just blah, 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 blah. You can follow along as we go. Curtis says, John, with the amazing slideshow, the crazy hard work you do blows my mind. Absolutely. Because, Curtis, you were going to ask me, is football my passion? And the answer is absolutely yes. So, with going back to school in the winter, that is the next step, is try to land that gig where I can write about football. Because my parents always say I am filled with the stupid knowledge when it comes to football. And I get that from my father. So anybody who knows me on a personal level knows I can go on and on and on and on. Some people are like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? He doesn't shut up. But it's who I am. It's a passion. Just like some people prefer baseball or Grim likes his wrestling. I mean, everyone has their sport they like. Mine is football. Well, I can sit and talk about other sports. I know the most about football. But we love you. Yes, I am the special guy when it comes to the basement show. I'm the man behind the scenes. I'm the man that created the show. Yada yada yada. I mean, but over the last, I learned just to go with the flow a long time ago. Yes, you have. Shannon has known me a very long time, and she can vouch for me. Just nod and say, "Uh huh." Yeah, I mean that is true. That is very very true. And then my friend Vinny, if he's looking on YouTube, he will say same thing. I mean, the Notebook days. Yeah, I mean, notebooks may come back. I mean, I have a whole stack of them over here. You never know. Alan says I thought I was the special one. Okay, let me rephrase being the special one. We're all special in our own way. So you might be the special asshole prick that everybody loves. I may be the special nut job people love. I mean, we're all special in our own successive ways. I don't know. So, I mean, again, this slideshow has every single game broken down. I am not color coordinating them again. Yes, I was guilty of that. I will say I used to color coordinate my notebooks, and when it came to like NFL season, I would try to break down every game the best I could. NFL draft always had its own notebook. I mean, I was nuts. So I apologize to you, Shannon. I put you through hell all those years, but you've always been a cheerleader of mine since we were kids. So, fair enough. I'm sorry. Don't make me cry on the show. It's not fair. But like I said, the slideshow is in depth. It breaks down every single game. Now, I know I can personally say I did not watch every single game. I wish I could have. But A, funds aren't there for YouTube TV, so I can't watch every game. B, I work a lot of Sundays with my job, being in retail. It just hard to do, but when you sit down, like you can watch highlights and stuff. Unfortunately, I can't pull highlight clips up because we did something back for WrestleMania, and I pulled up a 12-second clip of a WrestleMania spot where Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson got involved, and they tried to hit me for a copyright. So unfortunately, I can't pull up any video highlights. So we just got to go off what's on the thing. So if you're in the area where this game was broadcast, feel free to chime in. So I know my one friend Tyler might join in. He's in South Florida. He's a Tampa Bay fan. He may say, hey, I watched this game. This happened. Let me know in the chat. Put comments down. Interact with it as we go. We have people from all different parts of the country. We have a couple people from, I know Curtis is in Canada. But like, this show can be interactive. So if you've seen a certain game I haven't seen, or you have a certain input about that game, please feel free to involve it. Because all these are what you would see in your normal newspaper, and that's like a box score. Because again, we have 4 on Facebook, 3 on YouTube, 1 on Twitch. So YouTube watchers, welcome. I know a lot of people don't like to talk on YouTube, and that's fine. But if you're an NFL fan, please interact with the show as much as you want. Miz, good evening, sir. Miz is one of my friends over at Nobody Sports. We talk sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and Miz is an awesome guy. He's actually in our fantasy league that you will see later in this presentation. Because there is a full basement show fantasy football breakdown as well. I went nuts. So, let's get started. How about that? So if you're in chat, filtering in still, be sure to drop a like, a heart, whatever you want to do. Show me some love. But other than that, like I said, if you watched any of these games over the weekend, put your input. Let me know what you thought of these games and so forth. So, other than that, here we go. So, opening night, Kansas City, unfortunately, raised their 3rd Super Bowl banner in the past, 4 years. They had a slight weather delay out in Kansas City. This game was broadcasted on national television, so anyone who likes football was able to watch this game. And I thought it was a pretty entertaining game. I mean, the stats show it. I mean, a good back and forth game. You had Lamar Jackson, 26 of 41, 273, one touchdown, almost two, which I have an asterisk. 16 rushes for 122 yards. Derrick Henry joining Baltimore for the season over from Tennessee. 13 carries, 46 yards, one touchdown. He did have the first NFL touchdown of the new season. I do remember hearing that. Isaiah Likely, not Mark Andrews, who everyone thinks is Baltimore's go-to tight end, but Isaiah Likely, 9 receptions, 100 yards, touchdown. And if you see the little asterisks, was a total away from a game-tying touchdown. So what I mean when I rate that is if you watch the game, the last play of the game was literally half a toe from being inbounds and out of bounds. Like literally, the size of a big toe is how far he was out of bounds from tying the game at the end of regulation. It was absolutely heartbreaking if you're a Ravens fan, a jubilant moment if you're a Kansas City fan, and if you're an NFL fan like me, you're like, oh shit. Zay Flowers had a quiet night, 6 receptions, 37 yards. And Roku Smith, who is their outside linebacker other than Patrick Queen, 7 tackles and had 4 solo. Miz is saying it was Lamar versus the Chiefs. And that's pretty much what it was. I mean, they have to get this offense going because Lamar can't carry the team by himself. Because if Lamar's going to carry this team by himself, yeah, they will win some games. But A, you're going to get him hurt, and B, you're not going to win many games. Football is a team sport. So, just say it like that. On the other side of the ball, you had Mahomes, 20 of 28, 291, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Isaiah Pacheco. So, those who are in the South Jersey area, Patrick Queen is on the Steelers now. You're right. I forgot about that, Troy. Thank you very much. He is with TJ Watt now. But Isaiah Pacheco, he is actually a South Jersey native from Vineland. So it's nice to see South Jersey being represented in the NFL. He's a second-year player out of Rutgers. So it's awesome that he made the step and now is a everyday NFL running back. More power to you. So yeah, 15 carries, 45 yards and a touchdown, 2 receptions for 33. Machine Rice, who had a lot of off-season trouble. We will spare him more of that, but I honestly am surprised this man did not get suspended to start the season for how much shit he got into. 7 receptions for 103. Xavier Worthy says NFL debut. He is a rookie. He's a first-round pick from the University of Texas. He is a speedster. So Kansas City loses Tyreek Hill a couple years ago. They finally replace him with this Xavier Worthy. The kid can flat out fly. Anyone who watches football, this kid broke the 40-yard dash record that they do at the NFL Combine every year. He ran a 4.21, which is blazing speed. It's mind-blowing. So good luck catching him if he gets in the open field. Jalen Watson, which is, I believe, corner or linebacker, 11 tackles, 7 solo. And Chris Jones is the high-paid defensive tackle. He had 3 tackles, 1 solo, and also sacked Lamar Jackson once. So again, this game, not much from Travis Kelce. No, that is very true. Travis Kelce had a very quiet night, opening night, but you know that won't happen every game. I think Kelce will get his feet under him. I still don't understand how Spagnuolo called a timeout and they allowed it. I mean, that is a good point, Miz, because they were, I think, out of timeouts, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly. So it was good. I mean, does the NFL maybe show favoritism for certain teams? Maybe. I mean, the next game we'll talk about, we know that there's a lot of hate out there right now for that game, and we'll touch base on it. I mean, we'll touch base on it because I feel that the refs sometimes do show certain teams a little bit more leniency, I mean, I guess you can say. And everyone always says the NFL is scripted. I don't buy into that. But it kind of raised your eyebrows, like, maybe. You never know. But after the Thursday night game, we had our first ever Friday night kickoff game. This game was the Green Bay Packers and, my Philadelphia Eagles. And this was played in Sao Paulo, Brazil. It was the first ever game played in Brazil. It is absolutely mind-blowing that we are expanding the NFL all around the globe, and they still want to do it more. So I know I read they want to go like to Italy, Australia. I mean, I get it. These overseas games, they generate the revenue, but at the end of the day, you got to stop. These players don't want to travel. These players were told not to leave the hotel because of incidents around the city. The crime rate was outrageous. A lot of players didn't bring their families down with them. I mean, it's a shame because that's what these players look for, is having their cheering section, their families with them on the road, and you're turning around and telling them not to travel with the player because the player is banned from leaving the hotel. Kind of sucks. But anyway, you have an asterisk next to Jordan Love that we will touch base on that in a little bit more. He went 17 of 34, 260 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 INT. Josh Jacobs in his Packers debut, I forgot to write that, 16 carries for 84 yards. I feel like he's going to step that up a little bit and be more productive as the season goes along. Jaden Reed, a young wide receiver. It was really cool. This game was in Brazil. It's crazy how many times a day they change cleats, find the right ones for that field. Yes, because the field that they were playing on was a soccer field. And that is a different type of, I guess, turf, even though they said it was the same turf that Lincoln Financial and Lambeau Field used. I don't think it was. But also, if you keep in mind that they usually wet a soccer field a little bit more than they would a national football field. So, I mean, the first part of the game, you have Saquon Barkley slipping. So, I mean, Curtis is right. It's funny how you watch certain teams, like, trying to adapt to a situation, trying to change your cleats. But once you do, it's like game over because you start seeing people slip. I was like, oh, great. Here we go. Another Super Bowl 57 moment. Up, he slipped. It's just all over the news. And it gets annoying after a while. Jahan Dotson didn't play for the Eagles. Yes, he did. He just only had 1 target the whole game. They didn't look his way that much. I think they are still trying to acclimate him with the offense. But once that he does, watch out. I love Dotson. I love that pickup. Penn State person. So we'll see. Sloppy start for the Birds. The slipperiness and Hurts fumble was deja vu from the Super Bowl. Love the different formations from the Birds. We need 2 more running back formations. Open the middle of the field. Go wide receivers. Yes, that is very true. That is a great analysis, Miz. I mean, I couldn't have said this better myself. So, I mean, it's week 1. A lot of people want to wait off after week 1. Be my guest. I mean, I feel it takes a week or 2 to get now up to speed because a lot of these players don't play in the preseason anymore. Preseason's like nonchalant. So you got that aspect of it. So, I mean, I give it a week or 2 and they will be up to game speed. Their conditioning will be there. And then you got that long stretch. So we will see what happens with it. But Jaden Reed, 4 receptions, 138, 1 touchdown, and 1 end around for 33 yards and a touchdown. That was just a sloppy play all around. Eagles missed a lot of tackles on that play, but it's what it is. And then Quay Walker and Javad Bullard, the 2 linebackers, combined for 22 tackles with 14 solo. I did that just as a combination to save room on the slide. And then Xavier McKinney, another free agent pickup for the Packers this offseason from the New York Giants. 4 tackles, 3 solo, and he did have an INT. I actually wanted him in Philly. I'm not going to lie. Then over on the Philadelphia side of the ball, you had Jalen Hurts, 20 of 34, 278, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 2 very bad interceptions, plus a fumble loss. Like Miz had said, I mean, it will come. This stuff will all come with the repetitions. You have a new center with Cam Jurgens this year. So, I mean, once they get that timing down, I think you're going to see a much more fluid offense. Saquon Barkley, the big pickup for the Philadelphia Eagles this offseason. We won't crucify the Giants too much, but watching that Hard Knock shit, everybody who watched it knows it was just that much funnier. So, Barkley on his debut, 24 carries, 109, 2 touchdowns, and also had a nice wheel route touchdown for a receiving touchdown, but he had 2 receptions for 23 yards. A.J. Brown, 5 receptions, 119 yards, and a touchdown, and 1 beautiful 67-yard bomb, which if you didn't see the play, you missed out because it was a hell of a throw from Jalen, and then A.J. just did the rest. Devontae Smith being Devontae Smith, 7 receptions, 84 yards, another good game for Smitty. He will get his catches as Will Brown, so you possibly have 2 of the best elite wide receivers on one team. Zach Bond, who played outside linebacker position, had 15 tackles, 11 solo, and 2 monster sacks in his Philadelphia debut. You can't ask for more. I mean, no one really knew what to expect from him. Being mostly a special teams guy in New Orleans, but he came in and shut a lot of people up. So, more power to you. And then Reed Blankenship, 8 tackles, 4 solo from the safety spot, and 1 key interception, which was a beautiful red interception for Reed that night. It was awesome to see. He ran out the wide receiver was supposed to run. So, I mean, all in all, this was actually a great game. Hard-fought win for the Eagles. And like I said, there is an asterisk next to Jordan Love's name, which as we get going into the slideshow, you will see more about that because there were a couple other ones along the way. Hey, Mr. J, just wanted to drop in and show my love for your big show. It looks incredible. Thank you so much, Pudding. Heather is another one of our shows. You will see her this Friday night with the Wives of Grimm. Check them out. They go live at 9 o'clock this Friday. So that should be a fun show. But thank you, Heather, for your support. Much love. And yes, I did a lot of work on this, as people know. So, moving forward. Now, the 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock window, they got kind of dicey because I did not watch any football, unfortunately. I was at work. So, I just went through the box scores and copied. So, if there was a game that you watched that was lingering in chat, please feel free to put any comments you would like about that game. That's what the show is about. We want you to interact with us because we know we have an audience outside of the Philadelphia area. So if you've seen a game on here that you want to talk about specifically, please feel free to interact. All right. I call this game the Tale of Two Halves. And why I say that is because Arizona jumped out to a monster lead up in Buffalo. I thought this was going to be the upset of week 1. Wholeheartedly thought this was it, but unfortunately it was the tale of two halves, as I call it. For Kyler Murray, he started the game out great, 21-31, 161 yards, 1 touchdown. Also had 5 carries for 57 yards. James Conner, 16 attempts for 50 yards and 1 touchdown. Also had 3 catches out of the backfield for 33 yards. And then not much on the receiving aspect of it. And the biggest disappointment from week 1, I feel, was the lack of use of Marvin Harrison Jr. This kid is awesome. First round pick out of Ohio State. The second coming of his father. I mean, and you're not using him. He would have had you at least 2 touchdowns. He was wide open on several occasions. Kyler did not look his way. Why? I don't know. Kind of sucks. And I'd be kind of upset in a sense for him. And then on defense, Kaiser White, ex-Philadelphia Eagle. Now they're starting middle linebacker, 11 tackles, 5 solo. And lovely Buda Baker at safety, 10 tackles and 4 solo. I mean, I feel bad for Arizona fans. I know one that I work with. And we're asking ourselves the same question. Why did I not include Marvin Harrison more? Doesn't make sense. He's a high draft pick for a reason. Use him. And then on the other side of the ball, if Mr. Joe Gallagher's in chat, his MVP of the season, Miz, we all know how Joe is madly in love with Josh Allen. He went 18 to 23 for 232, 2 touchdowns, 9 rushing attempts, 39 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And there he is. I summoned him. You guys yell at me all the time, and there he is. Joe Gallagher, welcome to the chat. Okay, if everyone has a man question with the NFL, this is jokes. We deal with this on a normal basis in our group chat. This is what Joe does. So welcome in, Joe. And you came in at the right time. I know you're excited. Joe might join us for a show or two down the road, but for now he is blowing up my chat. So, but welcome in, sir. Thank you for joining me tonight. James Cook, 19 carries for. Yeah, I just got done. AKA, I'm still working, but I am getting set up. Okay, wait. Serious premiere night. There's 17 other weeks. We'll get you on 1 week soon, I promise. But yeah, James Cook, 19 carries for 71 yards, 3 receptions, 32 yards. Another rookie wide receiver, and Keon Coleman, 4 receptions, 51 yards. Kyler Shanka, he's supposed to be the new speedster up in Buffalo. He had 3 receptions, 42 yards, and 1 touchdown. And then I'm guessing these two are either the lineman. I think the one's a linebacker, and then Lassahan is a defensive lineman. They both had, one had 11 tackles, 10 solo, and Greg Russahan, 6 tackles, 6 solo. So that means I'm thinking he is a D tackle. He had 3 sacks. That's a great season debut, if you ask me. 3 sacks by 1 player on defense. Come on. What more could you ask from the guy? All right, moving forward. I'll let the Facebook get caught up real quick. All right. What I feel, since Arizona gave up the 1 game, is the biggest upset of week 1. I feel. I could be wrong. So please, again, if you're in chat, feel free to correct me if I am wrong. But you have the New England Patriots, who no one thought was going to do anything this year, go into Cincinnati and be what people are possibly calling a Super Bowl contender. So, Shannon, if you're in chat, your team's 1-0. But Jacoby Brissett, another quarterback holding a spot for a young quarterback to get his bearings in the NFL. I actually like Jacoby Brissett. I've always been a fan of him. I think he's a good underrated quarterback. So hate me if you want, but that's how I feel. But Jacoby Brissett, 15 to 24, 121, 7 rushes for 32 yards. And then this next guy, probably the only one worth having on your fantasy football team this year. Raheem Stevenson, 25 carries, 120, 1 touchdown. He also had 3 catches for 6 yards. And then the free agent pickup, Austin Hooper, 2 receptions, 31 yards. And Taquan Thornton, 2 receptions, 27 yards. Now they also have Jalen Reagor, if I'm not mistaken, up in New England these days. Have fun. John Bentley, I don't know exactly what position he plays. 12 tackles, 7 solo, and a half a sack. And then the other one I wrote down because it's a pretty solid game. Keon White, 4 tackles, 3 solo, 2.5 sacks. So that's pretty damn good. And what I feel is the MVP of this game, Joey Sly, used to be a kicker for Carolina, Washington, 3 for 3 on field goals. Kickers are paid 1 job, and that's to kick the ball, right? So, I mean, anyhow you can make 3 field goals, absolutely incredible. But there are a couple kickers who actually top that in week 1. Then on the other side of the ball, on the other side of the page, you had Cincinnati again, who everyone thought was going to be a Super Bowl contender. Are they taking that step back too soon? We'll see. I mean, it is Joe Burrow's first game back since getting hurt last year. So, I mean, maybe he needs to stop looking like some shady. Just saying. But he went 21 to 29, 164. 4 rushes for 15 yards. Zach Moss, who is now the starting running back after letting longtime back Joe Mixon walk away, which I don't agree with that. Zach Moss went 9 carries for 44 yards and a touchdown. And Jamar Chase, the question was all week, will he play despite not getting his new contract? And the fact of the matter is, he did. So more power to Mr. Chase. I know these players look for that financial stability nowadays. So the fact that he played while he's in the midst of that negotiation, I give him high regards. People call me crazy if they want, but anytime you get a player to play when he's in a contract situation, more power to you. So he had 6 receptions for 62 yards. Logan Wilson, 13 tackles, 7 solo, and Dax Hill, 8 tackles, 7 solo, and 1 sack. So, again, that was kind of a boring game to open up the season, but in my eyes, it was an upset. You guys can agree, disagree, all you want. Like I said, if you have any comments about any of these games, please feel free to add them in chat. Mr. Mike, how you doing tonight, sir? Thank you for joining me tonight. Appreciate it. We're just sitting here recapping any of the games. So if there's a slide that you see of a game that you watched or saw highlights about, please feel free to add it in the chat. So, I mean, other than that, we're just kicking around. I made, like you can see, I made box scores for every game. I am crazy, I know. All right, next one. Haha. Mike and I can join for the fantasy recap portion. Johnny and talk about our game. Ha 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 ha. I'll save Mike the embarrassment tonight. Now, if it happens the second time you guys go to play each other, then sure, Joe, we'll let you do that again. But the game that everybody is laughing about. Yeah, the Minnesota Vikings 28 and the New York Giants 6. Now, I am sorry, because we were friends with Richie Hicks, and he does a great sports podcast over on YouTube. But the Giants without Saquon looked bad. And there was actually reports of fans waiting for Daniel Jones after the game to personally give him pleasantries. And I mean that in a nice way. The Giants think Daniel Jones thinks, yep. I mean, they paid this man a lot of money and to shit an egg. Not good. Drew Lock season. They do have Drew Lock backing up Daniel Jones now. Yep. I like that game because I was rooting for the Vikings. There you go. And you're allowed to, Joy. As football fans, we are given the right to root for who we want when we want. When we want, who we want. Just like Mr. Joe and his Josh Allen and blowing up a group chat. So, I mean, it's awesome. So, please represent any team you guys would like. I'm not going to be hurt by anyone. You guys can come in and say Philly things. You might get beat up for that. Not going to lie. Because there was a lot of Eagles fans that will probably watch this show. But represent your team any way you want. Anyhow. So, have fun. Sam Darnold is a competent quarterback who has been on terrible teams. He now has a hell of a wide receiver to throw to and showed that he can play. And that is a very good statement, Mr. Joe, because you are absolutely 100% correct. I couldn't agree with you more if I could, even if I tried. And the stat line shows it. You mean Sam Darnold, 19-24, 208, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Aaron Jones, probably the pickup of the offseason, if you ask me. 14 attempts, 94 yards and a touchdown, 2 receptions, 15 yards. Aaron Jones is great. I mean, and to get him from your division rival, Green Bay, that's a steal. But, I mean, that's just absolutely incredible. 100% dumbest move by the Chiefs. I would agree. I mean, I like Josh Jacobs, don't get me wrong, but Aaron Jones is a monster. I mean, what more could you ask for? I mean, him and A.J. Dillon, I mean, even though A.J. Dillon is out for the year now, but like him and A.J. Dillon were a great 1-2 punch for Green Bay. I don't know why you let him walk. Doesn't make sense. But Justin Jefferson, who is probably one of the top 2 wide receivers in the game, 4 receptions, 59 yards, 1 touchdown. Jordan Addison, again, you see a little asterisk. We will touch base on that in a little bit. 3 receptions, 35 yards. And then a couple defensive backs, Brian Murphy Jr. and Harrison Smith, with their stats. But then the biggest thing, you had the Minnesota defense, 2 interceptions, and they sacked Daniel Jones 5 times. That's an ass whooping. And if you watched the Hard Knocks, like many of us did, because we were laughing at Joe Shin and his comments, it didn't do much to upgrade the offensive line. I mean, I like the John Runyon signing, but you're supposed to be protecting your franchise quarterback. And you're not. If someone's getting sacked 5 times, come on. Gotta do a better job, man. But if they keep bombing these games, I am curious to see how long, A, Daniel Jones remains a starter, and B, if that seat gets warm under Brian Dable's ass. Because the Giants are thinking they're in win mode now. So, we'll see. I mean, it could be a very long season for the Giants. But Daniel Jones, 22 of 42, 186, 2 interceptions. Devin Singletary came over from the Houston Texans. 10 attempts, 37 yards, 4 receptions, 15 yards. Malik Neighbors, who they finally have a number 1 wide receiver, but now you have to work on your quarterback. Can you get this kid the ball? Because like Marvin Harrison Jr., Neighbors can be a game changer. First round pick out of LSU, a lot of speed, good hands. Now you just got to be able to get him the ball. And then Wendell Robinson, who has been stepping up for the last couple of years, had 6 receptions for 44 yards. Tyler Neighbor, 7 tackles, 5 solo. And Dexter Lawrence, one of the defensive linemen, because you didn't see Kayvon Thibodeau at all on Sunday. And I'm a big Thibodeau fan, being from Woodgate, but non-existent. Lawrence had 3 tackles, 2 solo, and he did sack Sam Darnold once. So again, bad start for the Giants, but an inspiration for Minnesota, like, hey, we may have lost our first round pick and our future in J.J. McCarthy for the year, but in Sam Darnold we trust. So see how that plays out over time. All right, the next one. If Curtis is still in chat. The quarterbacks need a quarterback that can run, get out of the pocket, because Jones can't, and the O-line is trash. That is true. That is 100% true, Joe. And that's what they wanted to upgrade this offseason. They wanted to address the offensive line. The year of Daniel Jones. But that year is going to be pretty cut short if you wind up getting him hurt and he's on the IR for the rest of the year. Then what? Then you're really screwed. But this game was a weird one, I guess we can say, because if you're a Chicago Bears fan, yes, you're happy your team won. Chicago's 1-0. Terrific. You're a Titans fan, like, what did we do wrong? Caleb Williams played pretty good, but the Bears defense is on fire. And there's a Bears fan for you. I mean, again, if you're a fan of any of these teams, if you have any insight that you personally want, please feel free to add them. I am trying to read all the comments as best as I could. So, I mean, let the comments come. Please interact. That's what any of these shows we do here on the Basement Show are all about, is the interaction of them. So it's been great so far. You guys have all been amazing. You guys are all football fans. And now we have a show for us to speak our minds. But Will Levis over in Tennessee, 19 of 32, 127, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 4 carries for 36 yards. Tony Pollard coming over from Dallas, 16 attempts, 82 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 receptions for 12 yards. And then you got Calvin Ridley. Another game was a tale of 2 halves. Yeah, that's what I heard about this game too. That's how the Buffalo Arizona game was. It was a tale of 2 halves. Bears undefeated this year. You never know. Your defense steps up and your offense keeps up with them, they could be. A lot of people were putting Chicago as a playoff team this year, even with the rookie quarterback. So you never know. Anything that's the fun thing about the NFL. Anything can happen on any given Sunday. Well, can't say any given Sunday anymore because you got games on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday. I don't know. But Calvin Ridley, another one of the free agent acquisitions, coming over from Jacksonville, 3 receptions for 50 yards. Now Joe's going to make fun of me because I'm going to have a hard time announcing this name. Chig Okowakoa. 2 receptions, 15 yards, 1 touchdown. I butchered the hell out of that name. I am sorry. Some of these names I am not good with. I will tell you flat out. Now, Monty Hook, 6 tackles, 5 solo. Harry Landry III, 6 tackles, 3 solo, and it had 1 sack. So please, if I'm saying the name wrong, I apologize. Do not make fun of me too much. But hopefully I can make some people chuckle. Because some of the names on these players nowadays is freaking weird. Now, on the Chicago side of the ball, we had Okonkwo. Close enough. There we go. So Cleveland gets their shit together and they finally go. Cleveland has some work to do, sir. Yep. Okay. You got it. Okay, cool. Okonkwo. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. But Caleb Williams, the number 1 overall pick from USC. He is being high praised. I hope he can live up to his expectations. I will say that. It will take time to get up to speed in the NFL. Because, yes, you can say, oh, he had a great preseason. But preseason doesn't show you everything that you need to see. I mean, I know that sounds cool. And the way you say Caleb Williams is a trash can. Thanks, Joe. Oh yeah, back up over here. That's weird. Last year they looked good, but that went south quickly. Yeah, I mean, and that's the sad part about some teams. You start off hot, and then you just you fall off. I mean, it's a shame that it happens, but that is true. That TJ Edwards stat line makes me sad, man. I mean, I don't know what the hell Philly was thinking letting him walk. I really don't. And he's proven every game since he left that he is a preliminary middle linebacker. It's heart-wrenching, Joe. I agree with you. Like the Eagles, ha 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 ha's. And you guys have so much heart, yes. We all know that Joe likes his Wisconsin players. So I mean, it's a shame. It sucks, but I see you laughing, sir. I'll be nice. But Caleb Williams, 14 to 29, 93 yards, 5 attempts for 15 yards. Cycling with Doc, look at this. I got a celebrity in my chat. What's up, Doc? Caleb only got the dub because the defense won that game, 93 yards. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. That's what my friend Curtis was saying. The defense, Caleb played all right, but the defense is what won this game. Defense and special teams, and that's how it was a couple years back. Their defense carried them. Rex Grossman had a moderate good season, but their defense is what helped them win a lot of games. So who knows? They might be doing the same thing this year. You never know. But that is awesome. Welcome in, Doc. Long time no see. DeAndre, I'll be interested to see how Caleb progresses. I'm right there with you, 100%. What up, Nast? Not much. Premiere night of NFL Talk. We decided to let me out of the cage a little bit and hang out with my people. So every Wednesday night going forward will be NFL Talk. I know a lot of football fans, a lot of sports fans, and everyone who knows me knows football is my passion. So I figured let me do an NFL Talk show. And as you can see on your screen, I did a box scores for almost every game. Plus, we have a fantasy football league with the show. So, yeah, I mean, this is my new heaven. Wednesday nights are going to be a lot of fun. So, circle your calendars. It won't always start at 9 p.m. I will promise you that. But every Wednesday, there will be an NFL show. And I hope everyone who is an NFL fan will stop in to show support. So, that's what's going on with this. Just doing my thing and having fun with my friends. You guys are all family here in the Basement Show, and I can't thank you all enough. Cycling with Doc has always been a huge inspiration of mine to help me get started with the streaming stuff. So I thank him for his inspiration. But going back to this, DeAndre Swift came over from Philly in a free agent signing with Chicago, 10 attempts for 30 yards. A lot of people expect him to get going more. We are family man minus Cowboys fans. That is true, but I do know some Cowboys fans, so I can't write them off. I know my friend Sheldon, who will probably watch, is a Cowboys fan. My friend Sam Simmons, he's a big Cowboys fan. And that's what we want. That's what this show is supposed to be all about, is everyone coming together and representing their team. So, I mean, everyone who knows me, yes, I bleed green. I am wearing my Eagles jersey tonight. But when it comes to it, it's just NFL is a passion. Joe, you know we talk about NFL. We talk about every game in our chat. It's just who we are. We're sports fans. We're NFL fans. And he says, "Oh, I'll allow Sam." Okay, I'll let him know you said that. Because Sam might be joining me in a couple weeks too. So we'll see how that plays out. But DJ Moore, second year with the team, came over last year from Carolina. 5 receptions, 36 yards. Keenan Allen, the big wide receiver pickup this year from the LA Chargers. 4 receptions, 29 yards. And Romeo Odunze, the second first-round pick out of the University of Washington. 1 reception for 11 yards. As Joe said, this one is sad. TJ Edwards, who signed with them last offseason, 15 tackles with 10 solo. And then Tyreek Stevenson, one of the young defensive backs, 4 tackles, 2 solo. And he did have a pick 6, which was one of 2 defensive special team touchdowns. Because, as you can see, the offense didn't do much. But they got the dub. So they are 1-0. All right, moving forward. They got an MCL sprain in that game. I think I did read that. I think I forgot to mark that down. But I think I did read that. So thank you, Joe. Maybe out for a bit. Yes, I know a couple of people that got banged up in week 1. So it's unfortunately, but hey, injuries are going to happen in the NFL. As much as it sucks, it is very, very true. But this game that you see now on your screen, the lonely Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. I was tracking this game on my phone while I was at work Sunday. And I was like, oh my God, this is... I could only imagine being a Panthers fan trying to watch this game. It had to be horrible. But if you're a Saints fan, opening day, you're home, you're amped up for the season, this is exactly what you wanted. So it's the tale of 2 teams. You have a lonely fan base in Carolina, but you have a bunch of party animals in New Orleans. So, I mean, Bryce Young, I'm sorry, but you're starting to look like a big bust as a number 1 overall pickster. I don't know if it's the people on your team or just your skill set as a whole not matching up to the NFL. But, sorry, sir, but you might be out of a job soon. People can disagree if they want. That is perfectly fine. I just think he's overhyped, overrated, so forth. But Bryce Young went 13 of 30, 161, 2 interceptions. Did have 4 carries for 12 yards and the Carolina only touchdown. Miles Sanders. Starting to look like you shouldn't have ran your mouth in Philly. You might have been still you. Who knows? But leading rusher of the game, 5 attempts, 22 yards. Adam Thielen, who they thought would help Bryce Young, he's catching the ball, but he's not really doing much. 3 receptions for 49 yards. Shaq Thompson, who I think is another very good young linebacker on the wrong team. 10 tackles for solo. And Ashawn Robinson, 9 tackles, 5 solo. So you have that for the dismal Panthers. Now over to the Saints side. And I can see Doc's comment. Derek Carr with 4 exclamation points. My man had a field day. This game was over by halftime. So if you want to leave the game at halftime and go hang out on Bourbon Street, you more than likely could have. Derek Carr, 19 and 23, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 rushes for 13 yards. Alvin Kamara, I mean, he was in the news a lot last offseason. This offseason, you didn't hear much, which is great because you can see what he can do. 15 carries for 84 yards and a touchdown. 5 receptions for 27 yards. Rashid Shaheed, who I think is another very good underrated wide receiver down there. 3 receptions, 73 yards, 1 touchdown. Panthers made Carr look like a first ballot Hall of Famer. Yeah, I mean that's how the Panthers are. They're bad. So, and then Foster Moreau, who is one of the 2 receiving tight ends they got down there. They also have Jawan Johnson. I mean, the Saints' offense is scary. I saw it, sir. I saw it. I was going right back. Foster Moreau, Jawan Johnson. They have the very versatile Taysom Hill, who I'm not a fan of. I'm sorry. I mean, it sounds like me a bad person, but I'm not a fan of Taysom Hill. He's a quarterback. Use him as a quarterback. He's not a scat back. He's not a tight end. I mean, is he physical? Can he do a lot? Absolutely. But, never mind. We'll leave it at that. But Alto Taylor, 6 tackles, 5 solo. Another 3-sack performance, which is awesome to see. And then Paulson Adelbo, 5 tackles and 4 solo. This was a professional team versus a JV team. Plain and simple. And I feel bad for anyone that is a Carolina Panthers fan. I mean, you're still more welcome to join that your team in your chat, but might be a long season for you guys. All right, the next one, another one that a lot of people, again, they make a couple weird off-season moves, but a lot of people antsy to see what they do. But yeah, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Atlanta Falcons and a new worked Atlanta offense with now bringing in Kirk Cousins. But Justin Fields got the start over Russell Wilson, who was inactive for the game. Fields went 17 of 23, 156 yards, 14 carries for 57 yards. Najee Harris, another running back that seems to be forgotten about. 28 attempts for 70 yards. George Pickens, 6 receptions for 85 yards. Pat Fairmouth, the tight end, 4 receptions for 27 yards. Micah Fitzpatrick, the big trade that they made a couple years back with the Miami Dolphins, 7 tackles, 6 solo. And TJ Watt, the enforcer under defense, 4 tackles, 2 solo, and had 1 sack. So, I mean, again, not much really to write home about. But, hey, you get the win, you get the win. That's all that matters. Let's see something real quick. Nope, I got you, sir. Let's see. Then on the Atlanta side, now the Falcons this year, I think, are going to be a funny team to talk about. And I say that because you sign someone like Kirk Cousins to a monster deal, you give him $100 million guaranteed, but then you go and turn around and draft a quarterback 8th overall, and Michael Penix, the quarterback out of Washington, with your first round pick. That doesn't make sense. But I know it is injury insurance because Kirk Cousins does have a history of injuries. He is coming off that Achilles injury from last year. So, I mean, could it be risky? Could it be dicey? Sure. Is it wise? Absolutely. So, I guess we wait and see how this one plays out as well. So Kirk Cousins in his Atlanta debut, 16 for 26, 155, one touchdown, 2 interceptions. Bijan Robinson, who a lot of people think is going to have a breakout year now that Kirk Cousins is in Atlanta. 18 attempts for 68 yards, 5 receptions for 43 yards. Ray McCloud led the receivers with 4 receptions for 32 yards. Kyle Pitts, who year after year is praised to be a top 5 tight end. I don't see it. Maybe this year he will be because of Kirk Cousins. We'll see. 3 receptions for 26 yards and 1 touchdown. Caden Ellis, 9 tackles for solo. And the ever-aging Grady Jarrett, 3 tackles, 2 solo, and a sack and a half. Not bad. But again, the offense isn't doing much. And you're supposed to have a high-powered offense. Like, where's Drake London? You know what I mean? I mean, week 1, everyone's not going to step up right away. But I get it. I think the Penix pickers was smart, much like the Eagles taking Hurts with Wentz and Packers taking Love with Rodgers. Yeah, it gives you that security blanket that you need. In case your main quarterback goes down, you now can bring in a young quarterback, let them learn from a veteran, and then eventually that veteran could run them out. I mean, the young guy could run that veteran out. Yeah, it's happened with all 3 of those teams. Hurts ran Wentz out of town, and Love eventually could go over for Rodgers. So I mean, it's given. You're gonna have to turn over eventually. But this game I thought was also another funny one because a lot of moving pieces, and you had a big what's the word I'm looking for? Newsmaker before the game even started. Well, Wentz kind of ran Wentz out of. That is true. I will agree with you on that, Joe. You're 100% right. Wentz did run himself out of town. You're right. But before this game even started Sunday, you had some fireworks right outside the stadium, literally, involving Tyreek Hill, which I'm not going to get into it. It's just crazy that all happened. I will leave it at that. But Trevor Lawrence, 12 of 21, 162, 1 touchdown. Tank Bigsby. Never really heard of this guy, but had a good game, so I wanted to include him. 12 carries for 73 yards. Travis Etienne Jr., Jacksonville's other Clemson Tiger offensive weapon. 12 attempts, 44 yards, 1 touchdown. 2 receptions, 15 yards. Gabe Davis, who they signed from the Buffalo Bills this offseason. 3 receptions for 62 yards. And Brian Thompson Jr., their first round pick from this past year. 40 receptions, 47 yards, and his first touchdown. All right, another fun name. Foy Seed Okul Khan. 11 tackles and 8 solo. Again, Joe's going to laugh at me for butchering that name, and that is okay. He is allowed. But on the other side, I just say his first name, Tua, 27 and 37, 338 yards, and 1 long touchdown. Dude, I got nothing for that one. All right, I'm not alone on that one. So, but Tua, 338 yards and a touchdown, not bad. And then, if you ask me, I think Miami has about 4 quality running backs, if I'm not mistaken. They got Jeff Wilson from San Fran, Raheem Mostert, Devin Achane. I mean, the list goes on and on. We might have to start calling the Miami offense the running back factory of the league. Ooh, like that. But Jeff Wilson, 5 attempts for 26 yards. Achane, 10 attempts, 24 yards, 1 touchdown. He did suffer an injury. Mostert got hurt. So maybe it's good to have these money running backs. You might need them. Tyreek Hill, 7 receptions, 130 yards, 1 touchdown, including, what was that, an 80-yard bomb. I mean, when you got someone like the Cheetah and Tua, as long as Tua can stay upright and get him the ball, Tyreek Hill is going to do the rest. Jalen Waddle, the other outstanding young wide receiver, 5 receptions, 109. David Long, 8 tackles, 7 solo. Jordan Poyer, who is a safety, 6 tackles and 4 solo. And this game came down to the very last second. And you had Jason Sanders kicking a game-winning 52-yarder at the gun. Crazy way to end the game. But if you're a Miami fan, this game was played in Miami. An exciting way to win the game. Just like back in 2017, Jake Elliott kicking the 61-yarder to help the Eagles beat the Giants. We all remember that. That was actually the catapult that helped get us that next hump that year. So, I mean, some kickers you can rely on, other ones are like, eh. Then there's some that's like, no thanks. So, I mean, pretty awesome to see a game-winning 52-yarder. All right, next one. Who I feel is going to be the surprise of the AFC this year. I am buying into the Houston Texans. Their offense is stacked, and you have a defensive-minded head coach and D'Amico Ryans who's going to do some things down here. Sorry about that. A drink real quick. But this team is just top to bottom like stacked. Nico! Yeah. But CJ Stroud, who I feel, if he stays healthy, can rival Pat Mahomes for MVP this year. I mean, I just love the Houston team top to bottom. I might have to get a Houston Texans jersey this year. Now, I don't know who I would get, but it might happen. Maybe I'll just get myself another customized one and just put my last name on it. Can do that. But CJ Stroud, 24-32, 234, 2 TDs. Joe Mixon in his Texan debut coming up from the Bengals. 30 rushes, 159 yards, and a touchdown. That's a workhorse. I love it. Nico, as Joe says in chat, 6 receptions, 117. Tank Dell, the other great wide receiver, 3 receptions, 40 yards, and making his Houston Texans debut, Mr. Stephon Diggs, who they got from Buffalo. 6 receptions, 33 yards, and 2 TDs. Now, if teams aren't careful, I have a feeling all 3 of these wide receivers can easily average 75 to 80 yards each per game. Like I said, this offense is explosive. And they have Dalton Schultz at tight end, who came over last year from Dallas. The team's stacked. It's probably a top 3 offense easily. My opinion. I know everyone has it. Another fun name, Henry 2020. Too many foot apostrophes, but 7 tackles, 3 solo, and the first round pick from last year, Derek Stingley Jr., 4 tackles on his own, which he is a second-year player at LSU. Another very good young cornerback. Sorry, not corner. So, I just love Houston. I could rave about them all night. And then on the other side, Anthony Richardson, second-year player out of Florida, coming back from surgery. Texans wide receiver trio could be the 6th in the NFL to all top 1,000 yards. I believe that is 100% possible, Joe. I really do. I feel like that is 100% possible. I love all 3 of the wide receivers. I mean, they have a good complimentary tight end, Dalton Schultz. You have a Joe Mixon who can chew up 25, 30 carries a game. That team's just scary. No matter what way you look at it. On paper, on the field, they're a human stat line. So I can't wait to get more in depth with them as the season goes. But over on the other side, Anthony Richardson coming back from shoulder injury last year, 9 of 19, 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Also had 6 rushes for 56 yards and a touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, another one, who signed a pretty decent-sized contract last year, coming back. 16 rushes for 48 yards. Only 3 yards per attempt. You got to get that up a little bit. 1 touchdown. Alex Pierce, who is another great young wide receiver, I feel. 3 receptions, 125, and a touchdown. Michael Pittman Jr. Again, these wide receivers, they're young, but they're athletic. And I like this kid too. He's another very young back, wide receiver. Not mistaken, he was also USC. 4 receptions, 31 yards. He's gonna get his numbers this year, and a preferable. So Nick Cross, don't know really much about him, but he led the way with 14 tackles and 8 solo. And DeForest Buckner, a player they had gotten in a trade with San Fran, I think 2 years now, 6 tackles, 5 solo, and a sack and a half. Can't beat that. So, I mean, don't sleep on the Colts, but don't overhype them. I mean, this team relies solely on the health of Anthony Richards and Jonathan Taylor. Those two help the Colts go as far as they go. All right, moving on. Now we're starting to get into our 4 o'clock games. We have the Las Vegas, not Oakland, but the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Jim Harbaugh-led LA Chargers. Now, this game, I think, kind of surprised people for 1 player and 1 player only, which I will talk about in a minute. But Uncle Rico started the game for Las Vegas, 25 of 33, 257, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Zamir White, who a lot of people were very high about in fantasy football this year. I didn't see it, but again, if you're a fan of these teams, know anything about them, please feel free to put them. I know we have a player in our fantasy league this year who is a very big Raiders fan. I was hoping he could join us in chat tonight. He might be lurking. I don't know, but as the season goes, hopefully he can join us. But his name is Rodney. He is a big advocate of the Raiders, as you'll see by fantasy football. But Zamir White, 13 carries for 44 yards. Alexander Mattinson, who they got from the Vikings, 5 rushes for 19 yards, but he also had 4 catches for 43 yards and the 1 touchdown. Wide receiver Jacoby Myers coming over from the Patriots, 3 receptions, 61 yards. And Devontae Adams. A lot of people think he's going to work himself out of Vegas by the end of the season. I am curious to see. But 5 receptions for 59 yards. Robert Spillane, 10 tackles, 7 solo. And the freak on the defensive line, Max Crosby. This guy can play. 5 tackles, 2 solo, 1 sack. I'm actually a really big fan of Crosby. I think he is a workhorse on that defensive line. You never really see him come out of the game. He's balls to the wall, physical. So I actually like him a lot. Now on the other side of the ball, again, a lot of question marks going into the season with Jim Harbaugh coming from Michigan to be, again, an NFL head coach. Can he adjust to the game? So forth. Only time will tell. I mean, I'm a fan of Justin Herbert. I think he has potential to be another very big name star in the league. But he needs the weapons to help him. But he went 17 to 26, 144 with 1 touchdown. J.K. Dobbins. Okay. Nobody saw this coming. The man's often injury prone. He's signed with LA. Saying a very cheap deal. He was let go from the Ravens because he was unreliable because of injury concerns, but came in with a vengeance. If he's on a 1-year prove-up deal, I hope he can stay healthy to prove that he can be a perennial back in the NFL. But 10 rushes for 135 yards and 1 touchdown. Lad McConkey. By the way, in that game, there was a fight in the stand. Doesn't surprise me, Troy. That does not surprise me one bit because these two fan bases hate each other. And that's something I'll touch base on in a couple shows. But that does not surprise me if there was a fight in the stands for this game. So, I mean, in layman's terms, I'll put it to you this way. Fans fighting with fans is stupid. And I'll tell you why about that on another show, but it's just not worth it. I think that's the most asinine thing to do. But Lad McConkey, 5 receptions for 39 yards and 1 touchdown. Joey Bosa, again, one of the probably top defensive linemen when he's healthy. 7 tackles, 6 solo, 1 sack. And my favorite player on their team, Darwin James Jr., safety from Florida State, 7 tackles and 6 solo. So, I mean, can Harbaugh keep it going for the entire season? I mean, only time will tell. So we shall see. Just checking something real quick. Let me just send a message real quick before I move on. Just replying back to somebody real quick. Thank you. Okay, moving on. Let's see. Next game. Again, another game that hit or miss. Because you had another young rookie quarterback. And the Denver Broncos going to Seattle. Bo Nix, who I feel, can he be an NFL quarterback? Sure. Was he taken way too high in the draft? Absolutely. I had him as a early second round pick. I mean, sure, Denver's going to need a quarterback after the whole Russell Wilson debacle. But I just felt like they took Nix way too high. But, I mean, he's young. And then I won't say per se who did it, but I had actually received a trade offer today. But I have one that will top that I will talk about in a little bit. But Bo Nix in his NFL debut, 26 attempts, 26 of 42, 138, and 2 interceptions, 5 attempts for 35 yards, and 1 touchdown. And Curtis is still laughing at me. Sorry, Curtis. Jalen McLaughlin, 10 attempts for 27 yards. And then they had a trio of wide receivers who I thought were all pretty close. The franchise quarterback is on the bench with the Hall of Fame. Final preseason this year. His mom has already offered to become a cheerleader on the team. Are you talking about Zach Wilson, sir? Are you talking about Zach Wilson? Because he was on the sideline. Yeah, buddy. He was actually inactive for the game. I mean, yes, you have an emergency third string quarterback, but he was actually listed as inactive for Sunday. So, watch that final preseason game. I will. I'm sure I can find highlights as well because my cousin is from Colorado, so I'm sure she can pull something up. Oh, I know. Wilson, if Wilson's given the opportunity, he can be an NFL quarterback. The Jets were just a mess. We know that, as we found out Monday night. But Josh Reynolds, who came from Detroit, 5 receptions, 45 yards. Devon Vale, never heard of you, sorry. 8 receptions for 39 yards. And their number 1 wide receiver, as they let Jerry Jeudy walk, Cortland Sutton, 4 receptions for 38 yards. Now, defensively, they had a couple big standouts. Second one stings a little bit. Riley Moss, 12 tackles, 8 solo. Alex Singleton, who, Joe, we know from Philly. Passionate player, another balls-to-the-wall type linebacker. 9 tackles, 6 solo. Jonathan Cooper, 6 tackles, 2 solo, and 2 sacks. Alex Singleton, another one I wish that we would have gave a little bit more time to develop in Philly. But it is a business after all, and you can't appease everybody. Now, on the other side of the ball, Geno Smith, 18 to 25, 171, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Also had 4 rushes for 30 yards and 1 touchdown. Kenneth Walker III, 20 attempts for 103 and 1 touchdown. Tyler Lockett, 6 receptions for 77 yards. Zach Cabernet, 2 receptions, 29 yards, and 1 touchdown. Good evening. It's Mr. Simmons. So, Sam, since you're in chat now, Joe, don't start your shit. We were talking earlier, Sam, how Cowboys fans are supposed to be banned from this chat, but Mr. Joe has allowed you to stay. Zach Wilson's stats final preseason game: 16 to 25, 251 yards, 2 touchdowns, ran for 22 yards, and a touchdown. That is a good game. I know you allowed Sam. I said that. Listen. I said we were banning all Cowboys fans, but you said you would allow Sam to stay. I said that. Well, thank you for allowing me to stay. No, thank Joe, okay? Joe's the I'm guessing as of right now, Joe is my silent producer on this show. So you can thank Joe. We're going to, but if Joe ever joins the show, he's not going to come on the show as Joe. We're going to change his name to Josh Allen Wannabe. Yeah, I said it. Josh Allen Wannabe. I like that. And DK Metcalf, 3 receptions, 29 yards. I feel he'll step up his game as he goes. Julian Love, who is another good young free safety, 12 tackles, 10 solo. And Tyrell Dodson. Josh Allen Vanderbilt, let's go. No! What did I do? I have not talked fantasy yet. No. And I will, I promise. I'll just coming soon. I think there is another 4 slides in the game recaps. So we're getting there, I promise. But, yeah, I mean, not really much to say about this game. Unfortunately, being out in Seattle, you don't really see much on the East Coast. So, I mean, if anyone's out there who watches the show and record it, or if you ever pop in chat and you see Seattle play or something, I know my cousin, if she was in, she would tell us how Denver was, because she is a big Denver Broncos supporter. So, I mean, that's what the show is supposed to be all about, repping our fan bases. And right now, I would say we're pretty well represented. So, just saying. Moving on. Oh, great. There we go. All right. I need to get my recap ready for that recap of Johnny's game. Yeah, don't start. It's bad enough I got to talk about this one, especially now that Sam's in the chat. Even though he did technically sign a waiver to leave the Dallas Cowboys fan base, he will deny it, but it is true. Ah, shit. Here we go. All right, Dallas Cowboys 33 to Cleveland Browns 17. Here we go. Sam, I give you permission to spam the chat. And if my friend Sheldon's on YouTube watching, I give you permission too. Oh, you never? Oh, you? Oh, I'm not getting into it. He's saying he's never signed it. Okay. Joe, don't. Oh man. Well, I have to, sir. I have to. It's part of the week in the NFL. I have to. I'm sorry. I mean, it hurts me just as much as it hurts you. Because a certain somebody might be in trouble again. But Dak Prescott, again, you see the little asterisk next to his name. I will go over why that is. A couple seconds. Dak was 19 of 32, 179, 1 touchdown. Zeke, he came back to Dallas this offseason after 1 year in New England. 10 rushes for 40 yards and a touchdown. CD Lamb, fresh off his contract extension in the offseason, 5 receptions, 61 yards. Brandon Cooks, who again, if he stays healthy, he's a pretty good wide receiver. Cooks, 4 receptions, 40 yards, 1 touchdown. Who is going to be the Cowboys quarterback in the playoffs? That's the real question. That is the real question. That is a good question, Joe. That is an excellent question. The Marbe Overshown. They raved about this guy. He is a very young defensive back who now will be thrust to step up with the departure of Stephon Gilmore. He had 11 tackles, 1 sack. Okay, now this one's funny. Eric Kendricks, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Micah Parsons, they're all linebackers, edge rushers, whatever you want to call them. I combined the three of them together, 18 tackles, 13 solo, and they had 5 sacks between the three of them. Dude sounds like he is from the Key and Peele skit. Possible. That is possible, Joe. You never know. Kayvon Turpin, who's another speedy punt returner, had a 60-yard punt return for a touchdown. And Brandon Aubrey, 4 of 4 on field goals with a long of 57. The kid was a kicking machine in this game. So, I mean, if you can stop Dallas's offense, I'd still watch out for the kicking game. Because Aubrey can kick. There, Sam, there's your one compliment for your Dallas Cowboys fan. I like your kicker. I'm waiting to see if Sam has anything to say. Agent Dr. Simmons. Maybe he left already. Maybe we were spared as the Cowboys fan tonight. But he's no Jake Elliott, no, but he can kick. So I mean, I gave Sam a chance to praise this shit about the Cowboys. Moving on the other side of the ball, the Cleveland Browns, who might be kicking themselves in the ass, is a nice way to put it. Deshaun Watson, 24-45, 169, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He was sacked. Oh, there he is. Hi, Curtis. He's still looking. He was sacked 6 times. He had 5 rushes for 39 yards. A lot of people are starting to think that giving Watson all that money was a mistake. Plus, news broke, I think it was yesterday, he might have another civil suit coming against him. You never know. Watch out. I mean, could we be seeing Jameis Winston soon? Not talking about this? Sir, I know you don't want to. I'm sorry, I have to. Shut up, Siri. Jerome Ford, who is subbing in as their starting running back right now till Nick Chubb is cleared. 12 attempts for 44 yards with 1 touchdown. He also had 6 receptions for 25 yards. David Njoku, who had left the game with an ankle injury, who had 4 receptions and 44 yards prior to leaving. I'm getting you. And Jerry Jeudy, who came over from the Denver Broncos, 3 receptions for 25 yards and 1 touchdown. Then on defense, Juan Thornhill, who was a thorn in the ass when the Chiefs played the Eagles in the Super Bowl, 9 tackles, 8 solo. And Myles Garrett, 2 tackles and a sack. Now the question is, what is Cleveland's identity? So, I mean, there's something to ponder about. But I'm not going to dwell on this because my friend Alan is in chat and he doesn't want to talk about it. So we won't. We'll move on. All right. Mr. Evans, I apologize about this slide because this is about your Washington Commanders going up against Tampa Bay. But you can't be discouraged, Mr. Troy, because I thought Jaden Daniels actually put together a pretty good game for an NFL debut. Unfortunately, he got the loss. They took it 20-37 to Tampa. Again, I wish my friend Tyler was in here. If Troy, you're still in here, if you want to talk about this game, got to go, but we'll try to hop back on. Hey, if not, all the shows are in the library, Sam. You know that. You can go back and rewatch it anytime you want. But appreciate you stopping in. Always good to see you in chat. Let me actually drop showing this real quick. Gotta get some new faces in here, but we'll see. But going on, Jaden Daniels, young kid out of LSU, who was the 2nd overall pick in the draft. 17 of 184. At least Washington doesn't play with deflated balls like Tom Brady. That is true. I will agree with you on that. But Jaden Daniels, kid out of LSU, 17 of 27, 184. He had 16 rushes for 88 yards and 2 touchdowns. Brian Robinson Jr. coming off a shocking offseason last year when he was shot in the offseason. Then he bounced back late last year and that put together a pretty good year. At 12 rushes for 40 yards and a touchdown, 3 receptions for 39 yards. Austin Eckler, the free agent signing from the Chargers, had a couple of rushes, not much, but led the team in receiving. 4 receptions for 52 yards. Zach Ertz, again, that one stings a little bit. Seeing Zach in a Washington uniform. 3 receptions for 28 yards. And Scary Terry didn't do much scary in this game. 2 receptions for 17 yards. But again, rookie quarterback, first game, he'll get his bearings. I know it. And then the ageless Bobby Wagner leading the pack on defense. 10 tackles with 9 solo. Jaden Daniels was nervous. Hopefully this coming weekend he shows up and the defense shows up against the Giants. I hope so. That is one of my things I will be saying towards the end of it, so we'll see. All right. I'll present this comment as I read this stat line, just for Joe. Baker Mayfield, 24-30, 289 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 rushes for 21 yards. But the 24-30 for 289 for 4 touchdowns is probably what Joe is high praising about. And he has every right to. That is a hell of a stat line to open up a season. Bucky Irving, the 4th round pick out of Oregon, 9 rushes for 62 yards, 2 receptions for 14 yards. Okay, I'm trying to drop this out. Rashad White, another one of your young running backs, 15 attempts for 31 yards, 6 receptions for 75 yards. So if it wasn't for my dude Josh Allen, I'd be cheering like a Baker Mayfield fan club. And I know someone that would sign up for that fan club. I know somebody that would be right there with you, Joe. Then another very good 1-2 punch at wide receiver. Chris Godwin, 8 receptions for 83 yards, 1 touchdown. Mike Evans, 5 receptions, 61 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And defensive back Jordan Whitehead, 8 tackles with 4 solo. Now Tampa Bay has a very tough game coming up this weekend as they go on to Detroit. So, yeah. Cleveland did him dirty and deserves to suffer with Watson. Who knows if Watson even lasts a full season? Because like I said, news broke, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, that there's possibly another civil suit against him. So I'm curious to see how that plays out. I mean, we all know Watson has a lot of legal trouble in the past. So I'm curious to see what this latest one's all about. Only time will tell. All right, moving on to probably one of the better games of week 1, the LA Rams and the Detroit Lions. I thought this was a phenomenal game. People may disagree, and that's perfectly fine. But Rams pulled it out in overtime. This game could have gone any which way. Matt Stafford going back to Detroit, 34-49, 317 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 INT. Kyrie Williams, 18 attempts for 50 yards, 1 touchdown. Yeah, this was a hell of a game. I feel this was probably one of the games of the weekend. Easily top 3 best games of the weekend. And I said that going in. I saw on the schedule, I was like, ooh, Rams Detroit week 1, that's going to be a hell of a game. And this game didn't disappoint. But Cooper Kupp, he came back with a vengeance. 14 receptions So if you're doing a PPR league and you got Cooper Cup, you're like, holy shit, 14 extra points, I'll take it. He also had 110 yards and 1 touchdown. So that's a pretty damn good stat line for a PPR wide receiver league. So, yeah, it was also his career high in receptions. I did hear that towards the end of the game. Tyler Johnson, who they brought over from Tampa Bay, 5 receptions for 79 yards. And Puka Nacua, he did leave the game early, which I forgot to put an asterisk, but I do have an update on him. He had 4 receptions for 35 yards. And Quentin Lake, again, some of these defenders I've never really heard of. I was just going through the box score and picked out the very top ones. So that's where he pops in. He had 9 tackles and 5 solos. Now on the other side of the ball, a lot of people were chanting Jared Goff's name during this game. And am I buying into the Jared Goff hype? Not really. But is he loved and respected in Detroit? Absolutely. So we're about to hear. Jared Goff was 18-28 for 217, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. David Williams, their second string back, 17 rushes for 91 yards and the game-winning touchdown in overtime, which overtime was all him. I think they ran the ball 3-4 times in overtime and just fed him the ball, and he was off. And then Jahmyr Gibbs, their second year back from Alabama, 11 rushes for 40 yards, 1 touchdown, and he also gives you catching ability for 4 receptions and 34 yards. And then the other young offensive weapon, Jameson Williams, 5 receptions, 121, 1 touchdown. Sam LaPorta, another very good young up-and-coming tight end, 4 receptions for 45 yards. And the one that everybody was upset about, Amon St. Brown, only 3 receptions for 13 yards. I think over the season he will progress and get his stats. So if you have him in a fantasy league, don't give up on him just yet. And then a couple defensive players out of Azune, 13 tackles, 10 solo. Carlton Davis III, who they brought over from Tampa Bay, 10 tackles, 6 solo. And the freak on the defensive line, Aiden Hutchinson. Can't say enough about Aiden Hutchinson, I'm sorry. 5 tackles, 3 solo, and he did have a sack. So, again, probably one of the games, top 2 games of the weekend, in my opinion. All right, the last one of the game recaps, we bring up Monday Night Football in the laugh of the week. See, I'm laughing about it now. You had the New York Jets, who everyone's been high praising all offseason because of the return of Aaron Rodgers, going into San Francisco, who at the last minute announced Christian McCaffrey would be inactive. And a lot of people were worried that they might hurt San Fran, but as you can see, it didn't. So, going over this real quick, Aaron Rodgers, 13 of 21, 167, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Breece Hall, 16 attempts for 54 yards, 1 touchdown. Also had 5 catches for 39 yards. Allen Lazard, his favorite wide receiver from Green Bay, besides with Devontae Adams, 6 receptions, 89 yards. Why did I put 2 touchdowns? He only had 1. Oh, well. No, he did have 2. I'm sorry. Because Tyrod Taylor came in for a touchdown, too. Garrett Wilson, who everyone high praises in fantasy football, as a top 2 wide receiver. I don't see it. Had 6 receptions for 60 yards. Then defensively, Tony Adams, 12 tackles, 8 solo, 1 sack. C.J. Mosley, who is a proven veteran linebacker, 8 tackles. Sauce Gardner, 3 tackles and a sack. Then over on the other side, San Francisco minus Christian McCaffrey. Brock Purdy, doing Brock Purdy, 19-29, 231, 1 rush for 11 yards. The stud of the night in his first ever NFL start. Second or third year back, Jordan Mason. 28 attempts for 147 and a touchdown. And I will say, I watched some of this game while the ladies were doing their show. This kid is a hard runner. He is physical, but he can hit the hole and go. So, I mean, kudos to San Fran for developing him, because that's a hell of a player. Debo Samuel Sr., which Senior, Junior, I hate all that shit now. 5 receptions for 54 yards. What are you doing in here, sweaty? Watch football? Yeah, who's going to win? Yeah, pretty much. But Samuel had 5 receptions for 54 yards, 8 attempts for 23 yards, and a touchdown. Jawan Jennings, 5 receptions for 64 yards. And then on defense, Fred Warner, 7 tackles, 5 solo. Leonard Floyd, who, if everyone remembers last year, is the one who actually injured Aaron Rodgers on opening night. Got another sack this year. He had 2 tackles and 1 sack. And then Nick Bosa, 2 tackles. Not the damn Jets. The goddamn Jets. So, yes. And then, as you see, Christian McCaffrey was inactive. And he might miss this week, too, apparently. So, we'll see. All right. That is it for the box scores on week 1. There's still plenty more. So, don't go nowhere. Now we have our week 1 fantasy football recap. Now, this is when I might lose Grim, Troy, and a bunch of people. But for those who are still here, every week the Basement Show is doing fantasy football, like I said, for the 3rd straight year. And the inaugural season, my friend Vinny won it. Last year I ran away with it, went 15-2. I apologize to everybody in advance. Well, just you, I didn't start off the best. I know if Mr. Gallagher showed it in chat, he's going to rave about this game in the comments. And like I said, I don't know. I could see if he's still in chat if he wants. Okay, yes. You got your popcorn ready. Okay, I see. I think your game's like 3rd or 4th. So, I mean, Joe's going to enjoy this a little too much. I'm not, but Joe, please feel free. I'm getting ready to drop out. Got to go to bed. 4 a.m. is coming early. That is true. We do have an early morning tomorrow. So, I mean, thank you for hanging out with me tonight, sir. I will see you bright and early in the morning. That's good. Everyone in chat, my friend Alan is getting the operation done tomorrow. Please wish him well. So, I mean, he is a great host here on the Basement Show. So, we send you well wishes, sir. So, thank you for hanging out with me. I will see you bright and early. But, before we do wrap up the show, I do have a bunch more to go through. So, we will push through this and go from there. So, all right, the first matchup. Great show, John. Have a great rest of your show tonight. Thank you all. Have Grim, everybody. All right, the first matchup we have. I wish if Sam's showing chat, he would be high praising, high glory, high fiving himself because he beat the reigning defending champion Basement Show. So this one stings because I had the 3rd highest amount of points this week, and I still took the goddamn L. Sorry, anger, rage, rage. But Jordan Love got me 41. Mike Evans 23, George Pickens 15, B. John 15, Aunt Chay 22, George Kittle only got me 8, Connor got me 19, Harrison Buckner 9, and my defense shit the bed with a lousy 2. So there's not much I could really do, because if you look how I did this, I did what they were projected compared to what they actually got. So, I mean, I pretty much had the best lineup I could set forward. which sucks, but that's what happens. That's what fantasy football is all about, taking chances. As you see on the other side, Sam had 2, got 49 points. Amon St. Brown only got him 4, which I think will definitely improve as the season gets going. Cooper Kupp, big night, 32 points. Again, PPR league, so you got 14 points automatically with the receptions. More power to you. Devin Singletary, 8 points. Saquon Barkley got him 32. Huge night for Barkley. 11 points for Pitts. 22 for Godwin. Dicker the kicker, as we call him, 12. And he had Dallas's defense, which wiped my defense off the face of the earth. But if you look at the bottom, there is an asterisk. He missed out on a lot of extra points, but again, you don't know what you're going to get with Amon St. Brown. But he had Woodley on his bench, who was only projected 12 and got him 20. And then he had Raheem Stevenson, who was projected 9, but actually scored 23. So this game could have been a lot worse than it is. So I will take a 33-point loss, knowing that it could have been a lot worse. So the Rough Riders moved to 1-0, and your defending champs moved to 0-1. Raider Nation, which is my friend Rodney Ortiz. As you can see, he is a big Raiders fan. He bleeds silver and black. I can't help it. He had Dak Prescott get him 32, Tyreek Hill 30, Devontae Adams 10, James Cook 13, Alvin Kamara 21, Njoku 8, Rashad White 16, Santos 13, and San Fran's defense got him 6. So, I mean, again, he said it pretty much his most perfect lineup going forward. It's just the luck of the draw sometimes. And then he went up against our friend Miz, who was in chat earlier. Miz had CJ Stroud getting 48. Oh, crap, I forgot. Garrett Wilson, I think he would have had 12. If I'm not mistaken. I forgot the last number. Sorry, Miz. Garrett Wilson had 12. Jalen Waddle 17. Bryce Hall, I missed that one too. Shit. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Now I feel bad. No, not that. I had the final score down. I just forgot to write the thing. Nope, that's not it. Where's it? Hold on. I'm looking for something. The 17. Thank you, Joe. Like I said, I got the final score down. I just 17 for Hall and 12 for Garrett Wilson. Thank you, Joe. Sorry, Miz, I screwed that one up. That's on me. When you spend so much time doing this type of shit, it sometimes happens. I apologize. I will get better. So please don't beat me up. But as you can see, Team Miz had 166 to Raider Nation's 149. The biggest miss of the week, I feel, Miz missed out with Isaiah Likely only projected 5. He would have got him 30 points. Not much of a game changer, don't get me wrong. But when it comes to our standing at the end of the year, tiebreakers were by total points. So the opportunity of missing 29 additional points hurts a little bit. That's the only reason I'm doing the misses and stuff like that. So that's that. The low score, the low bowl of the week, but still a fantasy game. Vince's perfect team, 82. Monsters of the Midway, who is my friend Curtis, 91. So congrats to Curtis winning the low man of the week, but high win of the week. Please don't. Hi, Benny. This one stings. I know it does. I am sorry. I have to. Just like I didn't want to talk about the Dallas Cleveland game, I got to talk about this. Because it's not your fault. Pat Mahomes was projected 50, only got 36. Marvin Harrison Jr. projected 13. Actual only got 1. Michael Pittman Jr., 12, 7. I know you're glad McCaffrey didn't play, Curtis, but my friend Vinny's over there kicking stones. He's pissed. I would be too. That's the problem with like sometimes last minute inactives. They happen. Does it throw off our team for the season? Absolutely. But we learn and move on. So unfortunately, like I said, McCaffrey was inactive last minute. He got 0. Aaron Jones, which, like I said, could be the pickup of the year. Minnesota got 18. Mark Andrews, again, underperformed, only getting 3. Malik Neighbors, a rookie, 11. Young Hoo Koo, 4. Damn it, I forgot the Jets defense on this one, too. Shit. Hold on, I gotta hold this up real quick. I don't think they got much. I dropped a ball on this. I mean, like I said, guys, I was doing this stuff a lot. I apologize. I will get better as the weeks go. I swear. It's just a lot of work. The Jets defense got Vinny 2. Thank you, Joe. Like I said, I put a lot of work into the show, and now I feel like shit that I missed certain players. Please forgive me. Like, as you guys can all see, I did a lot of work on this. So, I mean, it's going to happen. I hope it doesn't happen that often. So, please forgive me. The Jets are pretty forgettable, though. Yeah, true. You're doing a great job. Thank you, Troy. Monsters of the Midway. He won at Caleb Williams Detroit. He got Caleb Williams Detroit. Don't be tough on yourself. There's a lot of work with what you're doing, and we appreciate it. We appreciate you. It's okay. Shit happens. Thank you, Gary. You guys are being too nice to a guy right now. Thank you. Caleb Williams got 20. Devontae Smith, 15. Stephon Diggs, 21. Pacheco, 15. Chuba Hubbard. Come on, Chris. You got to tell your Canadian friend to wake up. You only had 1 point. Travis Kelce, non-existent, as we said earlier. Only got him 6. But I do have a funny story to talk about with Travis Kelce that I was told today. That everyone who plays fantasy football will be like, what the fuck? So don't go anywhere for that. I will bring that up in a minute. Cole Kmet, who is Chicago Bears tight end, 1. Jason Sanders, 10 points. Cleveland's defense, 2. Now, again, I had to do this. Sorry, Vinny. It's just part of the thing. You missed out on Tony Pollard. He was projected 10, actual 18. Again, you don't know that because you have a back like McCaffrey. You're not going to take him out unless you absolutely have to. So I get that possibly happen. And then Curtis, on your side, you had Rashad Shaheed on your bench. He was projected 10, and he would have got you 20 points. So a player like Cole Kmet, you could have started on your bench and put Shaheed in as your flex, and you would have had an additional 19 points. Are you going to preview the week 2 of NFL schedule tonight? I have a couple games highlighted. I didn't do the whole schedule. I do have 4 games that I did do a little something for you that you will see. That's still to come. So we're getting there, I promise. I know it's getting late. Like I said, this show won't always start at 9 o'clock. It's just tonight with my schedule. I wanted to make sure I was home, got something to eat, and so forth. That's the only reason I started this a little bit later than tonight. So I apologize. I know I should have put him as my flex player. It's week 1. I mean, you live and learn. You want to set your best roster week 1 and see what you got. That's what you did. So, I mean, now we know as the weeks go on who's going to do what. TJ's remarkable team, which is my friend TJ Bellis, versus Chris Quality team, which is Chris Cops. Again, I was hoping they would pop in tonight just to chit chat for a little bit. Brock Purdy got him 29. CeeDee Lamb 13. Drake London 3. Johnny Gibbs 17. Raheem Mostert 3 before he got hurt. Dalton Kincaid 2. Chris Auberle, 3. Brandon Aubrey, only 1 point. Baltimore's defense got him 4. And then on the other side, Chris's team, you got 36 from Kyler Murray, 26 from A.J. Brown, which is a hell of a good start. DK Metcalf, 5. Kyron Williams, 14. Okay, my friends, have a great show. You did an amazing job. I have a busy day tomorrow early, so I have to get off. Curtis, no problem. I thank you so much for your support tonight. I hope to see you in the future. Like I said, this show will not always start at 9 p.m. It will depend on my schedule. Because we all know how retail jobs are. You have the mercy of your boss. But thank you so much for joining tonight. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's great having you in chat. So, thank you. What was I? Austin Eckler, 10. Tyler Conklin, only 1. Debo Samuel, 18. Jason Myers, 10. Houston's defense got him 4. Now, both of these teams missed out on some big points. Minnesota's defense would have got TJ, 22. Where Chris had Jameson Williams on his bench, who would have got him 28. And Brian Robinson would have had him 17. So maybe swap out your Washington backs and find some way to get Jameson Williams involved in your starting lineup. So, all right. The one Mr. Joe Gallagher has been waiting for all night. And I just know at any moment my chat's just going to explode with comments from Joe Gallagher, laughing and all that at Mike. So go ahead, Joe. Laugh it up. I'll look at the corner of my eye, see if I see any laughing emojis pop up. So, like I said, Joe's been waiting for this one all night. Mary had a CD Lamb. Don't know where he came up with that name. Very clever. I will say that. Josh Allen. Yep, there you go. He's starting. He's cranking up the wheelhouse versus Mike Wright's Genius team. As you see in chat and on screen, Mr. Joe had Josh Allen, get him 52, Nico Collins 19, Calvin Ridley 8, Jonathan Taylor 10, Kenneth Walker the third 18, Trey McBride 8. Not to get off the subject, but how she's doing okay. She's home recovering. She's feeling better. So I would let her know you were asking about her. She is doing well though. Thank you, Gary. Trey McBride, 8 points for the Arizona tight end. Brian Thompson, 14. Kai Fairbairn, 17 for his kicker. Detroit, 5. Which our defenses aren't really going to put up many points in our league, I have a feeling. You're welcome. No problem, Gary. Thank you for asking. Then on the other side, okay, Jalen Hurts, 44 points. Projected 44. That's pretty consistent. I like that. Justin Jefferson, 17. DJ Moore, 9. Travis Etienne, 11. Najee Harris, 8. Jake Ferguson, he did get banged up a little bit. Only had 4. Amari Cooper, 3. Jake Elliott, 5. And he had Buffalo's defense getting 5. Then, as you see at the bottom, Mike missed out. Probably should have drafted the real tight end, Mike. I mean, possible. But as you see on the bottom, he did miss out on some pretty big points. So, Joe, you might have not been laughing so much if he would have had these 2 players in his lineup. Yeah, Jaden Reed on his bench was 36 points. And J.K. Dobbins with 26. So you throw those 2 in the starting lineup, Joe, and he's the one kicking your ass. You figure right there, that's an additional 62 points. You mean if Mike had set up a genius team? Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm saying. You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, best way to put it, Joe. And then you had a battle of the two new teams, Tyler LeBreach's standout team versus the Honeymooners, which is my cousin Kelsey and my new cousin, because they are freshly wedded couple, Chris and Kelsey. They are called the Honeymooners, which, again, very creative name. I like it. Baker Mayfield, 61 points. Brandon Ayuk, 4. Tank Dell, 8. Derrick Henry at 10. Chase Brown, 5. Sam Laporte at 8. McLaurin, 3. Justin Tucker, 8. And Pittsburgh's defense had him 12. Now on the other side, Joe Burrow, 28. Jamar Chase, 12. Puka Nacua, he did get hurt. Only got 7 points. Josh Jacobs, 12. David Montgomery, 16. Dallas Goedert. Didn't seem like Dallas Goedert did much, but got him 10 points. Can't beat that. Keenan Allen, 6. Evan McPherson, 6. And Kansas City's defense, 4. Now, the reason there's nothing written on the bottom of this one is because when I compared the two teams, this was the best they could do. Even with people on their bench, they didn't miss out on anything. Just the lineup they had started was pretty much the best lineup they had. So that's why I didn't put any side notes like I did for the other teams. So not like they did anything wrong. It's just their lineups were pretty much set perfectly, in a sense, if that makes sense. You have that. Now, this list I made before the fact. We have had a couple pickups since. I just didn't go in and update it, so I apologize. But our top free agents after week 1, you have Derek Carr with the Saints with 50 points. They are playing in Dallas, though, which is a tough matchup. Sam Darnold, he did get mentioned, Joe. There you go. He has 39 points. They are hosting San Fran. Uncle Rico, 37, playing at Baltimore. Alexander Mattinson, again, playing at Baltimore. He had 15. Jamal Williams, if you like an RB2 back in and running back up, he had 11. They're playing at Dallas, though. Bucky Irving, who is the backup in Tampa Bay, had 9. They're playing in Detroit, which you will see in a minute. Is one of my key games I pointed out. Then wide receivers. I'll be back shortly, okay? Alec Pierce, 27. They're playing in Lambeau. Ashton Dolan, from the Colts, 16. Playing at Green Bay. Brandon Cooks, the Cowboys' second wide receiver, had 14. They're hosting New Orleans. Then you have a couple Saints tight ends. Foster Moreau, 14. And then Juwan Johnson, 10. Now my favorite one of the night. Ready, Joe? Shig Okolo. It's getting late. It's hard, Joe. Okolo. At 9, they are hosting the Jets. Kickers, we had Chris Boswell from the Steelers with 26 points. Holy shit. I think someone just picked him up, though. Blake Group, the Saints kicker, at 22. Well, Boswell is actually playing in Denver, which we all know the ball flies a lot farther in Denver. Chicago's defense, I think Curtis picked them up. Yeah, 24. They were playing at Houston. I played them this week. That's just my opinion. New Orleans, again, a tough matchup this weekend. They had 14 this week. They're playing in Dallas. And the LA Chargers traveling to Carolina. That could be a sneaky good pickup if we need a defense. So that is our top free agency in our league. I tried to break down a couple per position. So I thought that was pretty cool. Then the next slide you see, as I wait for it to upgrade, is our standings. Again, this is all after week 1. Rough Riders are 1-0. They had 187 points scored, 154 allowed. Team Miz had the second most, also 1-0 at 166. Mary had a CD Lamb third, 151. Chris's quality team, 124. He had 1-0. Tyler, 1-0, 119. And Monsters of the Midway scoring 91 points. But getting the dub, that's all that counts. They are 1-0. Now the bottom two. Again, week 1. All this is going to change throughout the season. So bear with me as this season goes. This will alter a lot. Top 6 in our league make the playoffs. But your defending champ, Basement Show, is 0-1. But as you can see, had the 3rd highest amount of points in the league this week at 154. Radio Nation 0-1 had 149. So again, a lot of points just came up on the short end of the stick. Mike's Genius Team 111 0-1. The Honeymooners 0-1 with 98 points scored. TJ's Remarkable Team 0-1 at 95. And sorry, Vinny, I had to do it. 0-1 and 82 points. Now, if you would have had McCaffrey, you would have been probably 1-0 and probably about the 107 mark, I think. So, I know my friend Vinny's probably mad at me for doing this. I am sorry. It's part of the show. So, I mean, yeah. This is our week 2 matchups we have going this week. Basement Show is going against the Raider Nation, so one of us should be 1-1, and that will be 1-1, which would be interesting. I dedicate this loss to the Niners. I would too. Wholeheartedly, Vin. I am with you 100%. Let's see. The Rough Riders face Tyler. Vince, you have possible payback against my cousin's team, the Honeymooners. Curtis going against Mr. Chris this week is about 1-0 teams. Joe Gallagher has TJ's Remarkable Team. Can he go to 2-0? And Team Miz, based in Mike W's Genius Team. Now the question is, does the Genius show up this week? We shall see. So honestly, if you look at this, you have only 2 matchups with 2 teams that are both 1-0. So either the Rough Riders or Tyler's team's going to go 2-0, and the Monsters of the Midway or Chris's team's going to go 2-0. So again, standings are going to look very different possibly after next week. So we will play tuned to that. And then a couple of my key matchups I had come up with. Again, let me get Facebook get caught up because there's a bit of a delay. Kicking off the week tomorrow night, you have Buffalo at Miami. You have an early interdivision matchup where one team moves to 2-0. Who comes out on top? Now, Miami is already a little bit injured at the running back position, but they still got the dynamic weapons on the outside. I hope Buffalo wins. We shall see. I know if Mr. Joe's still in chat, he's rooting for Josh Allen too. So, I mean, that's a giveaway. So, you got that matchup on Thursday Night Football. I don't really count. Going to need to. Yeah, I will get to that, I promise. I don't really do the over-under and the point spread. I just figured I'd add that for show. So, don't mind that. Sunday, 1 o'clock. I feel like this could be the game of the weekend. Tampa Bay heading to Detroit for a rematch of the 2023 divisional round. Who moves to 2-0? That game's a toss-up. That's going to be a very tough game, physical game. So, Joy saying the Lions win, okay. I mean, I feel it could be potentially one of the games of the weekend. If you ask me. Also, at Sunday at 1, you have the New York Giants going to the Washington Commanders. What NFC East team recovers and avoids the dreadful 0-2 start to the year? Does Washington get their first win under Dan Quinn with Jaden Daniels, or do the Giants come out swinging and rebound? I mean, we'll see. But to have that big of a pivotal game in the division that early, same with the Buffalo Miami game. We'll see. And then, what is our actual home opener, since we were put in Brazil for opening night, we are hosting the New York Giants at Northwest Stadium. Okay. I didn't know that. Thank you for letting me know, Troy. But this will be Philly's first game home that actually means something. Well, I should say actually counts as a home game because Brazil was an Eagles home game. It was considered an Eagles home game, but it was at a neutral site. This time around, we are actually in Philadelphia at the link, and we are bringing home Big Dick Nick to retire as a Philadelphia Eagle. Plus, Jason Kelsey will be in the building working for ESPN. So I know that stadium will be on fire. So that I think is going to be another really good game on Monday night. So we shall see. And yes, Joe, if you need me to send you tissues, just let me know your address. I will send you Eagles tissues. I'll do you one better than regular tissues. I will send you Eagles tissues. Just saying. All right, and last but not least, I did a little bit of. Are you going to the game on Monday night? I will not be. I will be home. I am trying to save some money because I will be making a trip out to Cincinnati in the end of October. I will be going to the Eagles-Bengals game out in Cincinnati this year. So I'm trying to save some money so I have money for that. When you're single, live by yourself, and have to pay the bills, bills come first. So you got that. But as you see now, a couple of quick NFL notes leading into week 2. Jordan Love suffers an MCL sprain on the almost last play of the game against Philly. He is expected to miss 3 to 6 weeks, but they did not put him on injured reserve, which kind of surprises me. But the Packers have reached out to Ryan Tannehill, so I'm curious to see how that plays out. I will be wearing my Foles jersey and crying. You're probably not the only one, Joe. There'll probably be a lot of people like that. Then the big news that broke Sunday morning, Dak Prescott reached a 4-year, $240 million extension with $231 million guaranteed to stay in Dallas. Now, my boss that I know at work, I was talking about this on Sunday. He said the only reason Jerry Jones gave him that much money guaranteed is because he has to pay him $1 million for every interception he throws. I started dying laughing when he said that. I thought it was the funniest thing possible. So you got that. I mean, that is a hell of a big chunk of money for an average quarterback. But nowadays, what do you expect? Browns tight end David Njoku suffers ankle injury and lost versus Dallas will be week to week. Jordan Addison suffers ankle injury and win versus New York, also considered to be a week to week. Jake Ferguson exits with a knee injury. He was diagnosed as an MCL sprain. He will miss some time. Jeff Okta, the opposing defensive players on this, suffered a hip injury. Versus Indianapolis, they didn't really have an update. Sounds like he's fine. I think that one of the biggest losses of the weekend, Bryce Hall suffered a dislocated right ankle and fractured fibula and is out indefinitely. That just sounds gruesome and painful. Yeah. Then ex-Eagles punter Cameron Johnson suffered a really nasty leg injury on his plant leg as he was hit punting the ball, so he is now officially out for the season with a knee injury. And I added that one last minute. Puka Nacua placed on an injured reserve with a knee injury. He will be out at least the next 4 games. So that's a big blow for the Rams offense. So, I mean, I hope Cooper Kupp can stay healthy. Because without Puka, I mean, Cooper's the go-to guy now. And a lot of Kyrie Williams. And that's all I got for this week. I hope everyone enjoyed that slideshow. Like I said, it was a hell of a lot of work, but a lot of fun to do. So I will close that out real quick. Fix my camera. But yeah, that a lot of work put into that slideshow. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's been fun. I mean, that was a lot of work to do, but in the long run, it is definitely worth it. So I mean, that's pretty much well done, man. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. A lot of work. A lot of work went into that. A lot of passion, so forth. But I'm going to just do a really quick closeout on things because it is getting late and I do need to get up early in the morning. I will be side with Grindelwald as he's getting his procedure. So I will be present with them to help them with whatever they need. So real quick, if whoever is still in chat, please feel free to stay. I'm just going to do a very quick rundown because here on the Basement Show we do a lot with the closeout nowadays. So if you want to find out what more we do, this next segment is for you. Thank you. I will pass on the wishes to Grim. And I see him in the morning. I mean, I know he appreciates it. He is a great guy, great friend of mine. I consider him family. So yeah, I mean, I will let him know that you said that. But real quick, we have a business that we are partnered with here on the Basement Show. It is called Holland's Customs. It is run by Mr. and Mrs. Grimm. They do everything you can think of. See you tomorrow night, Troy. All right? Yes, I will be back tomorrow night, so don't worry. But Holland's Customs is a customized business that my friends do. They do tumblers, shirts, hoodies. We can get Basement Show merchandise, whatever you would like. So don't feel like you can't find nothing if you would like to check it out. They are on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So please feel free to check them out. They do a lot of awesome work and they will be more than happy to help you with whatever you need. So you got that. Our biggest thing this month, as you see in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, is our Suicide Prevention Awareness Month banner. We preach mental health a lot on this show as an outlet for people. As you see strolling across the bottom, you have the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, 988. There is somebody there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for you to talk to if you need someone to talk to in your time of need or crisis, as we say. And then another one that goes with that is you're not alone. If you don't feel comfortable reaching out to one of those people, you can always reach out to one of us here on the Basement Show. As long as it's at a reasonable time, we will answer your phone call, your text, whatever you need. You need someone to talk to. We're here for you. We love you all very much. We can't thank you guys enough for your support. So in return, we want to be there when you need us. So just remember, you're not alone. And if you feel like you're in crisis, you can reach out to any one of us or can call or text 988. Our show lineup real quick. Starting with Monday, you have Ladies Night at 8 p.m. That is Miss Grimm and Mama D. They do a lot of everything. Gossip, dating advice. Lately they've been diving into a smart talk discussion with books. Not just for ladies though. Us gentlemen are welcome to join them as well. So don't feel like you can't. Tuesday night is called The Memories of Drago and Tink, which is a show dedicated to my niece and nephew who tragically lost their lives last year in a fire. But we have opened it up to anyone who would like to join with us. If you have a story of a loved one that you have lost, please join us on Tuesday night and share memories. Our job to keep memories alive of those who have lost in life. It is tragic. The grieving never gets easy, but as long as you can talk about it, it makes it a little bit more acceptable. Welcome back, sir. Just doing a quick closeout real quick. Wednesday night, back next week, will be NFL Talk. This was the premiere night of it. I hope everyone has enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun and very socially involved, active. I loved it. Hopefully next week we can get more people involved. And like I said, this show will also depend on my work schedule. So I know next Wednesday I get done at 5:30, so I can start the show at 8 o'clock. And who knows, maybe I'll have Mr. Joe Gallagher join me next week if he's up for it. I know he's an hour behind, so the times are a little bit screwy, but maybe we can plan something out with Joe, get him involved with the show, Sam. So plenty more NFL talk to come. We're only in week 2 of the season, so there's still plenty more football, plenty more shows. So tell everybody about tonight. Let's make this one of the most popular shows on the Basement Show. Thursday night is Expedition Night. Now, if you like spooky, haunted tales, and so forth, then Thursday night is another night that you want to check out. I run that show myself, and we just talk bizarre stuff. Now, since this is on a Thursday, we will be doing a show Halloween night live from a cemetery. Yes, you heard that correctly. Live from a cemetery on Halloween night. That is going to be a shitload of fun. I am so looking forward to that. So, if you're around Halloween night and need something to do, come hang out with the Basement Show because it's going to be a lot of fun. And then usually Friday night is the Red Women Crimson Phoenix show, but Rev is taking a little bit of a break. But don't worry, we still got you covered. For the next 2 weeks on Friday night, you will have the Wives of Grimm. Yes, I said wives, because there were multiple. And this Friday, you will be joined by Miss Grimm, Mama D, and the Crimson Phoenix. So be sure to pop in. You never know what to expect on that show. There's a brand new intro, outro, banner for them. It's going to be chaotic, to say the least. But it's awesome. Saturday and Sunday, we normally have the days off to regroup because Monday through Friday is a dreadful schedule to do. But we do it for all of you. And you never know when we will have a pop-up show. What we mean by pop-up show is we could be out and about as a group hanging out, or I could just say, hey, I'm just going to go live and hang out with everybody. So you never know. That's what we call a pop-up show. The unexpected, the unplanned, they just happen. So always keep an eye out for those as well. And if you're new tonight, welcome in. Thank you for stopping into the show. You can find us on Facebook, obviously, YouTube, Twitch. If you'd like to join our Discord, we can get you an invite to join that. And we are on TikTok. Now, I just use TikTok as a promotional bit. I did make a nice TikTok today in remembrance of 9/11, and it took off. So, I mean, plenty of platforms. If you haven't followed any of the other ones yet, go over and drop a follow and spread the word. Help us grow. We're trying to ever grow this show any way we can, and it takes you, the viewers, helping us out to do that. Another fun project we have coming soon is the basementshowlive.com. Now, this will basically be our own .com. We can go on and do whatever we want, whenever we want. We don't have to worry about copyright anymore, the bullshit, anything, because we will own the rights to the website, and it will be a game changer. The biggest thing holding this thing up right now is the ability to find one that allows you to have a chat while you're doing the live shows. Because as everyone knows, we always say on the Basement Show, these shows only go as far as you, the chat, will take them. So remember that. But that will be coming soon, hopefully. Now this next one is a fundraiser we are doing. On October 6th, the Basement Show is taking part in the Out of the Dark Greater Suicide Walk over in Philadelphia to help with suicide prevention. Now we have added some fund to this to help raise initiatives. Now we are actively working on getting more out there. But if we raise $400, all the ladies on the show will have to do the underwear in the freezer challenge. Now what this is you stick a pair of underwear in the freezer, and after 24 hours you gotta take it out and they put it on. Now you won't be able to see it from actually putting it on. We have to blow it out, but it will still be fun. Sorry I missed most of the show. No problem, Sam. You know all the shows are in the library, and if you ever miss one, you can go back and rewatch them. I hope to have you join me one night in the studio for this show. It'd be a lot of fun. Spit talking football with you. Congrats on being the high man of the fantasy league this week. You took the defending champion and you went, hey! That Sam Simmons is the Rough Riders in our fantasy league. So he has bragging rights over the basement show for the week. So kudos to you, Sam. So that's $400. Now if we raise $500, going back to this real quick. Sorry, Sam. If we raise $500 for this wonderful foundation, you get the $400 thing, and then $500 I have to get a piercing done for the first time ever in my life. I am scared shitless of this. So I mean, you get the $500 and then you get the $400 on top of it. So keep that in mind. Now it has to be a tasteful piercing if it's done. Can't go get a Prince Albert, stuff like that. You know that whole type of stuff. But we'll see. For sure, just let me know in a timely manner and I will join. Sounds good. I got you. So you get the $500 and then $400. Now the next one, $750. You get the $400. You get the $500. And then if you raise another $250 on top of that, Grim will get a new tattoo. Again, within reason, reasonable spot, and no obscene pic images, names, none of that. Just some fun. So you got that. Now $1,000. This one will go to the highest bidder who helps us get to the $1,000. You can pick a host to hang out with for the day. Now if you pick the Grims, they have a package deal because of medical reasons. Now if you live farther away, like Texas, Wisconsin, wherever you're coming from, we will set up a day to hang out with you virtually. And you can do what you would like. We could do a pop-up show, whatever you would like to do for that day. The host of your choice is yours. So keep that in mind. And again, this last one. If we raise $1,500, you get the entire basement show at a location of your choosing. Now again, if you're farther away and you donate the most money, we will have to do it virtually. But you will be part of the basement show for the day. And we will put you on the banner, put you in the intro, the whole kit and caboodle. But you will be a proud member of the basement show for the day. I choose John to play Fortnite all day and stream it. There you go. See, you could do that. So, I mean, if you look at the banner, we are raising money for Out of the Dark Suicide Walk that we are doing over in Philly on October 6th. If anyone would like to make a donation, we understand that some people can, some people can't because of financial reasons, but you can donate on PayPal at the basement show. And all the money we raised will be going to the Out of the Dark Greater Suicide Walk. Hey, Mr. North, what's that? You missed all the fun, sir. But now that Darth is in chat, I am in trouble because he's planning on adding more donation options to the fundraiser coming soon. And with Darth, you never know what to expect. They can make the checks out. No. If they would like to donate, so they would donate on PayPal at the basement show. Thank you, though. Nice try. So we do have more options coming soon. So we will have that coming to you very, very soon. And now he's dropping emojis in my chat. So he's won. I did see the update. I thought they did win. I've been going for 2.5 hours, no breaks, hell of a show. A nice NFL show now here on the basement show. So first time. Oh, you went over there tonight. How cool! First time at the bank. Very nice. They do have a nice little stadium over there. I will say that. So I'm glad you got to see a Phillies win. This time of year, that place is electric, dude. I mean, I'm glad you had a fun time. I unfortunately need to get going because I have to be up at about quarter after quarter tomorrow. We had a very good in chat. He is getting the first of 2 procedures done that he needs to get done tomorrow. So I will be accompanying him and Mrs. Grimm to the hospital. Boo hoo, yes. I am sorry, Doris. But if you come back in the chat tomorrow night, we can chat all night. I am off on Friday. You can come in and you can tell haunted ghost stories with me tomorrow night. I'm not a fucking man child. I had worked today and I had come home and you so you want to call me a man child? Okay. I'll pull something back up for you, okay? All players go out to Mr. Wynn for recovery. Yes, Jay, I agree 100%. Matt, this is what you missed. Okay, I won't go over all of it again, but you can laugh at me all you want, Matt. But I did all of this, so fucking man child this, fucking man child that. I did a lot of work for this show tonight. So, I mean, if you want to go back and rewatch it, you're more than welcome to. There's a lot that we covered. All came out great. So, I mean, this will be an every Wednesday show. I know you do your show on Wednesday nights usually too. So, if you're over on the Purple brand, check out Darth Nexus. Avid Call of Duty player, Fortnite player, funny ass fucking guy. Family to me. Family to the Basement Show. Go to bed, you're cranky, or eat Snickers. My Snickers are upstairs. Thank you. I will keep that in mind, though. Now, see, I was just. Looks good. Thank you. Yeah, no problem, you. But. So you're going to sit there and crucify me. So I was trying to give you a compliment, saying that have people go over and check your stream out. But you don't want me to give you a shout out. I won't. You know what? Talk about. Thanks. I can't stand you sometimes, but your family. Everyone has their siblings in like that. They like people to pick on. Yeah, I mean, you're kicking ass, dude. You're taking off. I do love you. You're right. You're absolutely right. Us streamers look out for each other. We take care of each other. Yeah. I mean, you're actually the second celebrity I had tonight in chat. You would never guess the first one that popped in. In a non-sexual way. But yeah, Doc, you're the second Twitch streamer I had to pop in. Unless it's cold outside, true. Where's that? Where'd it go? Oh, down here. Hold on. I had it somewhere. Hold on. There you go. Check that out. Look who popped in tonight. Second one with Doc. My good friend Doc. He popped in a couple of times when we were doing the Turnbuckle show on the wrestling show. I mean, it would be cool to have Coach Clay pop in. I know he's just getting back into his flow of things over on his channel. Nice, that's a way to be. Yeah, I mean, we always say here, streaming purposes, that if you show each other respect, it goes a very long way. I mean, us streamers like myself, Doris, Psycho and Doc, Jimmy Dukes Gaming, Coach Clay TV, we all try to help each other out. We build each other's communities. We show each other support, respect each other, and it's just nice. That's what like streaming is supposed to be about. You're supposed to be bonded together as one. So I mean, I'm not going to go too much into it, but like, it's just nice when you know you are part of a family. And us different streamers here, whether it's on Facebook, a YouTube streamer, or a Twitch streamer, like, you're supposed to look out for one another. So at the end of the day, I mean, what it's all about. You're here to put on a show. You're here to entertain people. Like, I still laugh at myself in a way. And I know Doss will kind of laugh at me too, but like, I never expected this. Okay, I thought, sure, let me try doing this live and see how it goes. I never expected it 2 years later to still be on here. Yeah, I'm selling myself short, don't get me wrong. I'm doing the wrong thing to do, talking myself down. But like, people who've known me a very long time know two things about me. A, I hate talking in front of a camera. Hate being in front of a camera. And B, I hate talking in front of people. I've always been that type of person. I've been a follower most of my life. Now to know I'm leading a charge with building this platform, it's just incredible. I mean, I am so everly thankful to all those people who pop in these shows to chat with us, to hang out with us. It means a lot. I mean, we're building something. We're going to continue building it. And then Doris, like, I don't know, Doris, while you're spamming my chat with emojis, what's your follow count at right now, sir? I'm waiting to see if Doris will answer that. I mean, you may not. He may not want his business out there, which is fine. But yeah, I'm going to present this if that's okay. But like, here's a man who just started a year ago. Yes, he was part of the Basement Show. We did a show, me and him. He was a guest appearance on stuff. And he branched out on his own with the ambition of becoming what he wants to be on his end of the stick. So to see that number grow to 115 on Twitch, his main platform, in less than a year, to grow as much as he's growing, you can't be more proud of something like that. Gotta go. You all have a safe night. Go Birds. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate you. So you got 115 on Twitch, 280 on TikTok. So right there, that's 395, 52 on Facebook. So now you're looking at like 337, 347, and then 285 on X. I mean, they're all awesome numbers. That's what we strive for. Us streamers, we strive to entertain you, the audience, on a nightly basis. So by you helping us grow our platforms, it inspires us. Knowing that we can do this, that we want to do this, to help entertain you. A couple times before, I've had people say, "Hey, I'm watching your show on a 45-inch TV." You home relaxing, and like you have us broadcasted on a flat screen TV when you could be watching something else instead. But you're watching watching a streamer. You're supporting a streamer. Yeah, you may not be sending that money, but like at the end of the day, like you're showing each channel support. 150,000 on a feet finder. I hope you got some pretty good looking feet there, sir. Yeah, pretty mouth. But seriously, I know I can speak for Doris, Coach Clay. I mean, he has a hell of a community. Cycling with Doc. I mean, all these people are because of you. Our streamers are on your screen for a reason. You find us interesting. You want to know what's on the agenda tonight. So at the end of the day, it's just awesome. I thank you. I mean, I know the rest of my team will also. Darth thanks you for helping join the Nexus Nation. You got Cyclone Doc, Jimmy Duke's Game, the Duke's Nation, all of that. I mean, all of us streamers will have one purpose, and that's to entertain each and every one of you who take a chance to come in. Yeah, some people may, like, I'm not making fun of Darth, but some people may watch like playing video games or something. Or you may like the mixture of streaming a video game and talk, someone that can multitask. Or what we do here in the basement show, a talk show. Not even a podcast, a talk show. So, I mean, it's just endless. I mean, I could go on for hours. But I'm not going to. But it's just a simple thank you. And like Matt says right here, thank you, dwellers. You are the real MVPs, and you guys are. And if I wanted to take it one more step farther, you may go back and watch this. You may find out through myself or Darth. But the word dwellers, basement dweller, I gotta give the mad credit to Kevin Peak for that. You remember, everyone remembers Miss Peak. She was on Tuesday Night Entertainment Night. Her husband Kevin's the one that came up with the basement dwellers. And it's been awesome since. Because that's what we are. We hang out. I mean, sure, you don't have to hang out in your basement to watch the show. But I'm sitting in a corner room in my house doing the show right now. I'm in the basement of my house. So, I mean, I thought the basement dwellers was awesome. Plus, like I said last night, this lovely banner behind me, right here, is because of Morgan and Kevin, too. I mean, it's all awesome. But one giant family. Mama D says it best every night on our shows. One band, one sound. And as long as people want to keep watching this, night in, night out, we're not going anywhere. Cellar Della's night. Yeah, that is true. That is very, very true. And we hope to continue growing. So, I mean, you may see me in another stream from time to time as Basement Show or as myself. But I'm doing what those people do to me. You show us respect, you're going to get respect back. Yeah, these nuts. Got it. So, I mean, I'm sure you may not like every show that we do on the Basement Show. But you want to see some real entertainment, go check this guy out. Go jump on the purple side of things. Type in Darth Nexus and make sure you put a 5, not an X at the end of it. Go learn thing or two. I'll tell you one thing you're going to learn. You're going to learn how to fucking laugh. Because he's an animated video game. Shit goes his right way, we'll laugh about it. You piss him off, you're going to get a rage. But at the end of the day, I will tell you one thing. You're going to get grade A content over on that page. Just like we try to give you the grade A content here on the Basement Show. Anyone that streams. Doc, you get grade A content. Jimmy Dukes, you get grade A content. Coach Clay. This is another great way. We're just average people doing average things. And we're only doing it because of all you who bring us into your homes on a nightly basis. So, again, thank you. Doris, thank you, brother, for popping in at the end of the show. I'm glad you had a nice night at the Phillies game. He goes live at, 7 o'clock tomorrow night? Turn up Thursdays? or are you taking another night off? Which sometimes in streamer you have to. You need that mental reset. There you go. 7 o'clock tomorrow night. While you're waiting for the basement show to start, hop over to Twitch. Check out Darth Nexus. Probably be playing Call of Duty. He calls it Turn Up Thursdays. Go turn up with him, then come back and turn up with me. Otherwise, have a great night. Thank you again for making this premiere an awesome night. Remember, you can always go back and rewatch it. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, you can rewatch it up to about a week. But other than that, the last banner I will pull up for tonight, for a comment, Thirst Trap Thursday, sorry. Last banner tonight, it's a perfect one to end with. Well, actually, we got two, but I won't. I'll say the other one too. But we love all of you. I do. Grim does. Miss Grim does. Mama D. Crimson Phoenix. Everyone involved with the Basement Show. We love each and every one of you. You all have a special spot in a place in our hearts, our minds. And like I said, the last thing. Right now, we were trying to get justice for Adrian Hope. That's my niece and nephew who tragically lost their lives last May. They're gone, but they're never forgotten. I won't go too much into it, but we were trying to get justice for the two awesome kids that we lost way too soon. To keep that in the back of your minds. But love everyone. Don't hate. Just don't hate, appreciate. But till then, have a good night. Sleep well. And I will see you tomorrow night for another fun night on Expedition Night. And that show will probably start at 8:30. So be prepared. Good night.